It's always been 7:20. Okay, so back at the dropship, all your mechs like the same ship that left you off, so it's the same Mini. Oh my god. Hold on.
Meow.
Get Mimi her own computer. She can join us.
Yeah, she wants to be
Yes.
part of the thing. She can join us.
No, she can't. She'll leave. She was asking to leave. You know how cats are. They stay around inside, then eventually decide to just leave.
Yeah.
So, back in the drops, the same industrial-like ship that has picked you up and has, currently on its way to depart from Sayadon's atmosphere, directed back to the All-Seer. Once again, you're all still in your mechs, but, you're all hooked up. And since you're all hooked up, you're kind of like sitting there. I don't know if you're all relaxed. I don't know, little conversation probably, if needed. But either way, Interlink will now, interject. And like she did before, like before you dropped off the ship, her little hologram will pop up on your cockpits, inside of them, right? And she'll speak up towards each one of you, Maybe you just,
Mhm.
hold on, I need to like do this. Just, like this. I like this. There you go, there's your Interlink.
There she is.
So real.
Interlink speaks up, and she begins. Welcome back, Restoration Squadron. As we've already said, the mission was a success. The data we've acquired, we've already been up at decrypting it. Unfortunately, any remaining separation forces have been gone off our radar, but we can certainly assume that they have been demoralized by the loss of their Lauper call sign. We've already been at work at trying to understand better their ranking systems, but we don't have enough information. Regardless, I was only here just to speak a little bit on a debrief. A quick one, of course. Bridge will give the proper one later once you're back. But this is only just a way to keep count of what exactly happened. So, just to remind you, you have all been sent here to retrieve data on an important plan that the separation has been preparing for. Successfully, we managed to acquire thanks to you. And unfortunately, we don't know exactly what they have planned yet. But we can already tell you right away that what we may have to do is keep you all of you down low for a moment. We might have the idea that the separation is already on their way to inform their other officers, and importantly, the liberators, if we suspect them to actually be the leaders as mentioned. So, once you're back, we will have to do a bit of a downtime. Of course, I'm sure that's still a problem for you mercenaries, since we're already going to be busy taking care of the data. But just as a forewarning, of course, Bridge will inform you all more on this situation. And just so I could be clear, I would only like to congratulate on behalf of Bridge, we'd only like to congratulate 10-4 for their successfully high kill count on this mission. Bridge is already very commendable of his works, of course. Not to say that the rest of you didn't do a bad job. I've been watching, and all of you have been excellent Lancer pilots. Well, at least on track of being a Lancer. I'm just being optimistic, of course. Regardless, I'm sure Bridge has much to say about the operation at hand, so please, be relaxed, and soon enough we'll be back at the All-Seer, ready to disarm your mechs and get them all repaired. Again, once you arrive at the All-Seer, please direct yourselves to the debriefing room so we can get on with it. And then, if you want to, like, comment or so on. If not, that's okay.
Interlink looking very disappointed. No one has anything to say.
No, I mean, she's a little soul.
Odin is kind of looking a little bit flabbergasted at, like, 10-4 having the highest kill count.
Yeah,
sorry, I know you said something. I mean, but she was like, looking for more like a little chatter,
We hate you!
No!
I don't like you anymore, Interlink. It's over.
So, and of course, just to remind you, the Interlink and or Bridge did not see what happened within the warehouse due to lack of cameras and visions. So this is all entirely up to you to speak up more details on what happened once you're back on the debrief.
Okay.
So, the dropship, heads on back to all the way back to, the All-Seer arrives. Oh, I still have this year. Oops. Let me get rid of that.
What? What are you doing here?
Like the all peer.
He's giving a ship out talking to her.
This is old, man. You see how this is old? Not even the icons are updated here. But they still work. That's what matters. So, I'm just gonna put this.
You have lost connection to the server. Attempting to reestablish.
Oh.
I hear Minecraft eerie noise.
Man, it's just a little background music. So, so I interlink in my mind. Oh,
Jesus.
the story of the giant interlink. So, she gives you a little debrief. The dropship arrives back at the All-Seer, still orbiting around the Z's, of course. With the All-Seer, still the same quiet presence, yet the very clean aesthetic that you remember. After all, this is, as they say, a secluded area of the ship reserved for people like you. So there's no surprise that any engineers that you see when unloading from the dropship, they're all far off in the distance up on the catwalks, just kind of eyeing, but there's not really many, like at least 5 or so, somewhere around there, right? So, after you unload from the dropship, right?
Yes.
The mechs, you all dismount, the mechs get hooked up to the railings at the top like before, and as you dismount, the mechs get carried away automatically by, machinery and so on. It's all very automatic, and again, once you all, came out of your mechs, all on your foot once again, interlink interjects once again. Of course, more like the full body, hologram that you're accustomed to, rather than being in your cockpits, right? So, interlink just speaks up again, and she actually mentions over towards Flower. Oh, Flower. I didn't know you got injured during combat. Are you hurt? Did you patch yourself up at least?
I'm fine. I thought I did mention it. There's no issue. I've seen to it myself.
Oh, I see. You just don't have any registration of any middle of combat injuries.
I'm quite sure I mentioned it when we were in the silo that I sustained an injury when encountering the remaining troop.
I remember that being reported as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we
I
both
was
said that.
Well,
But then I got patched up.
perhaps.
Chief of War.
It's not that she did.
You would have gotten injured if you'd let me participate,
He just looks over and then just looks back at Interlink.
Well, I'm sorry.
The
I
Wi-Fi
guess I
connection
must
was
have
bad in there.
forgotten. No matter.
It's fine.
Alright, so Interlink again, she just resumes, even after looking a little bit of a doozy for forgetting that detail, perhaps, happens, we're all human, right?
I can't believe we're gaslighting the AI.
Pretty sure she's a non-human person.
Yeah, she's literally not human.
Don't
Yeah.
discriminate.
But that's not...
Stop being fucking racist.
Hey, I'm
Shit.
kidding!
We gotta kill this guy.
Get this guy.
So,
What would this guy
Interlink
do?
just, resumes going on. Well, regardless.
Tear this man to smithereens.
Like I mentioned, please report
Take
back
this man to the
briefing
cock
room.
destruction chamber.
I'd only like to mention it, of course, that after you finish briefing, we've also opened up our license program for you back in your rooms. Once you've all done with the briefing, you are free to find your rooms available, the available mechanics available. Well, available mechanics, what? So,
The available mechanics.
the available license for you to use for your mechs. We have a wide arrangement of loadouts for you to utilize, so please don't feel afraid of picking and choosing from whatever major corporation you prefer. We have deals with each one of them after all. So, Interlink just finishes up.
Just like the Mario movie when they're making their carts. That's
Funnily
good.
enough, that's kind of how I imagined the hangar for each mech.
Finally.
Little squares, and you have like the mechs coming up, and you have all the.
Are we in the hangar right now?
Well, you're in the loading bay, yeah.
Okay, so as soon as Interlink said that, Odin probably just like stopped listening and walked off to go look into that and get the new lamps installed.
Interlink
on his
quickly stops you by teleporting back in front of you as as Odin moves in. Odin, please, I already mentioned that this is for after the briefing. Your licenses will have to wait. I'm sure you're excited considering your work, but the briefing comes first.
My spear!
Your spear can come in later, friend. I'm sure you'll get it once it's all done. It's only a brief. It's quick, I promise. Bridge doesn't tend to last with you people, I guess.
So you're saying he doesn't last long, usually? You're speaking from personal experience or something?
Shut up.
There's no need for such conversation. And
Fine.
Interlink, he's a little bit, ashamed of saying such things, or that you would assume such things even.
Ah, you're the one saying it.
Well, still,
Dang.
Interlink, gives a little disappointed look.
Fine, I'll go along.
Thank you.
He like waves his hand like dismissively and like gets back into the group.
Oh, back. I'm assuming the group is now, all going off.
Yeah.
All together. Have for his little comment if anyone wants to interject, but it's okay. Either way.
Oh.
I was always close range, and I'll keep being close range. So,
So, all back towards the briefing.
Never gotten used to dealing with snipers.
I'm sure you'll manage at some point.
Sleipnir's not back at full power just yet. Oh well.
Also, I do want to mention that I do intend on having top-down screens based on, just how the warehouse for parts like
Yes,
these.
no rush.
I'm sure
Yeah, no
if I
rush.
don't have it, I just been focused on other things.
It's fine.
I mean, all of this is already, great, so don't apologize.
I know, but
Yeah.
you mentioned. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned that you...
Again, when I said that about the top-down map, is really more of a suggestion for whatchamacallit, making it so people have to imagine less stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
But, I mean, I guess I just
Theater
did
in
it-
mind is fine, but if you have something more defined, it's easier to roleplay on top of that as opposed
Yeah.
to just theater in mind,
I just feel, well, the warehouse
But
was
yeah, it's fine.
extremely important.
Don't worry about it.
considering what was going on. But yeah, so back in the briefing room, y'all go up there. You do notice that the briefing room that the door is open, but nobody's inside. So each one of you can step in and have a little more of a conversation or comment, as you might as well get acquainted. If you prefer, you can all sit down. There's chairs available
Wait.
after all.
Is the chair is it the same room that we were
Yes.
in the first session?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's the same chair.
No way.
Is it so the chair is still there?
In actuality,
They
more
didn't
chairs have
move
been
the chair
added.
back.
Finally.
More chairs have been added, which means that there is actual 6 chairs total to sit around the
See?
table.
Let's fucking go.
No way.
See?
This is so epic.
This is what they heard me. I was right after all. And you guys were making fun of me for pulling the chairs over.
I mean, I did,
Can
yeah.
we stack all the chairs
Whatever.
and make a fort?
Before the teacher shows up.
I don't think Mitchell would be too pleased with that one.
No,
He's not
he'll
pleased with
be
anything.
pleased because we're bonding as a team.
I think he hates us.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely hates us.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to be really charming by stacking his chairs.
A demonstration of creative skills.
Me specifically probably thinks
Interlink,
about it.
send them an email telling them to kill themselves, please.
What the fuck?
Interlink, send them pick up my balls.
She's not like a fucking serious sister. My god.
Interlink, invite control to our Discord server full of shitposts.
I don't know if
It's
Discord is
send it to
canon
Bojack.
in the Lancer universe
And
5,000
then
years post-Union or something like that.
The Bridge Wojak.
Which Wojak would
No,
he
it's
be?
a custom one. It's a Bridge Wojak.
So,
Okay,
after you all spent your little time chattering about...
While
that's
is
so
there any
canon.
sort of
What? No, go on, please.
No, I was gonna say, is there any sort of like paper or
No, the
maybe like
desk.
a tablet in here somewhere, or is it just like a
There is.
big table, digital
It's just
table?
a big table, but there's no tablet of it. Oh my god!
What?
And out of character. For fuck's sake.
Oh boy,
man.
here we go.
Yeah, that's the butcher option.
Oh my god, man. He's not like
You're
that, I
though.
swear, he's not like that. He's
That's
just very
him, though.
patriotic.
He looks like that. I drew that.
So there's
Would
no
you say that maybe on the digital table that's like in the middle of all of them, it has like that
data pad.
whatchamacallit, that thing where like if it's like a touch screen?
Yes, it's touchscreen.
Okay.
There's like controls
So-
on one side, which was where Bridge was standing before that you still remember. And
Mhm.
those controls they don't look very convoluted, they're like actual analog buttons that you can press. But the rest of the thing is touchpad that you can press. It's not activated, but not activated in the sense that you know that you can do things on it. It's just a shining light, right? But if you touch
Mhm.
on it, you will probably open up something, right? Like an aisle screen type of deal.
Okay.
Do you want to?
Odin will like tap it and see if like what pops up when he does it.
Of course, when it pops up, it will just show the authentication screen that I would show it, but that's like a whole ass sequence, and
Okay, fair enough.
it shows the authentication screen. It asks for a fingerprint, of course, and
Which I assume is locked because we don't have authentication then.
you don't even have his fingerprint. Well, you don't even have authentication that too.
Not
Bridge
yet.
never puts passwords on anything.
Alright.
Fireman just knew.
So see that Odin's gonna go like, oh well, guess we're stuck waiting then. And then he's
Which
gonna like
likes this person who put password as password.
He does seem pretty geriatric.
Fireman, little comment.
Huh? Oh,
I forgot to get him out that shows when somebody's
what
typing.
the fuck is BDR?
Video's right here.
It's not saying anything.
I'm right here.
Hello.
I am humanoid, I guess yes. I'm a human. But peak human, as you can clearly see. Years of being a god makes that to you.
An evolved species known as a gamer.
What?
Yeah, I'm
What's
new to
the
all this
game?
mercenary stuff. Just seems odd. I'm the only animal-based life form.
I mean, isn't humans that too?
Who man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all
we all
that's genuinely
produce milk,
puzzled at
guys.
that like question, he's like, wait, what?
We all produce milk.
Aren't humans animals too? Wait a minute.
They ain't got no tails. They
Think
got no
only for
horns.
yourself. I'm no animal, I'm divine.
Yeah, what?
You're a vine? That's not an animal.
No, divine.
It's a plant.
Like a god,
Like a grape?
We got god animals. Animal god.
Yeah.
That feels so in character for an app to just say like a grape. I don't know. You just have that
Like a
look.
grape? Just generally.
Never mind. Odin will Fluffy, would you say that even though we have no access to the panel whatsoever, if we like touch it, does the screen do like that trail thing, as like when you touch your finger against it?
Technology
Yo,
has
can we
advanced way
experience
past that.
future
That's not like a
technology?
thing anymore.
Wait, what do you? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's not like a thing anymore. That's like, little. I know what you're talking about, but I feel like technology has already advanced enough for that to like not be a thing. Like it's not
No,
that
no, I'm
slow or like press down on. Oh wait. Oh, I think I know what you mean.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm literally like when they have like some sort of like reactivity to the screen that when like you touch it, there's like a little bit of a trail,
Yeah,
whatever, like it was
yeah,
last
yeah.
touch, you know?
Yeah, it has that.
Yeah. Okay, so Odin just figuring that that this conversation is going nowhere, he's gonna like sit by his corner and start gonna like drawing a bunch of triangles and like on his corner of
Guy,
with his finger.
you could hack. You say that, but right when it's in the middle of a conversation about humanoids and Odin just fooling around with the table eventually, I mean, as expected, Bridge steps in and he does take notice of the conversation happening, and he does take notice of Odin like fooling around on the table like a child,
I'm fooling around.
very
I'm just
interesting.
drawing triangles.
This guy fucking loves triangles.
So
Yeah,
Bridge,
let him enjoy his triangles, Bridge. Stop.
he kind of like breaks up the conversation, right? Because he just straight up just says like, "Hey, settle down, everyone." Oh man, how did I do his
Hmm.
voice? I forgot.
Settle down, class.
Settle down, Clash.
He is the
Noticing
substitute teacher.
Bridge come in, Nodin's gonna like pull back and then just like pull his hand back and then just kind of like be on his rest his chin on his palm, like, okay,
So Bridge steps
the
in.
teacher's here, fun's over.
A classic chin palmer.
So Bridge steps in. He calls out to shut down any conversation about humanoids, and calls out to Odin, "Step away from that. You don't need to be there." I don't know
I'm
how
not doing
long-
anything. Don't worry about it. I don't even know how to
Take a
crack open this
seat.
sort of stuff.
Take a
That's never
seat,
part of my
Odin.
training.
Just makes you take a seat. I'm sure everyone's sitting down. I'm accepting. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've sat down.
Okay.
Yar.
Yes.
So, Odin takes his last seat, and Bridge steps in to go back to his rightful place, and he speaks up. Good evening, Restoration Squadron. If I have to admit, you've actually impressed me. It seems that this operation is not a fluke after all, considering your skills demonstrated on the field. Nonetheless, you're still stuck working with me, so this is still very much a horrible situation for me. Now then,
Damn.
on to the debrief. Like I mentioned, I'm humbled. I'm content for once. You've actually managed to complete the objectives, and you've actually managed to put a little bit of a dent on the separation. Of course, I'm not being quite literal. You've all actually demonstrated me that you're not soldiers that hesitate to pull the trigger, even if they're the ones being complete terrorists. So, Bridge, taps in on his little table there, presses up his buttons, and he pulls up like a screen, like a little table, of course. It shows the map, right? The map of the location, and it shows like the recorded trails, like those like post operation screens where it shows the results and it shows
Yeah, like
pretty
in Ace
much
Combat, there's like a grid map and all
something
that.
like that.
Play of the game.
Not like that.
Oh my god.
But it's more akin to, it shows all your moves. It shows like the trail you left, how you move, where you dropped off, lead up into the warehouse, and then how you resumed afterwards. It has like your whole recorded history of how you move, right? And of course it has like a table showcasing the confirmed kills. And of course on the table, on the confirmed kills, it shows that Flower has 1, Flatman has 4, Odin has 3, 10-4 has 5, Vaccine has 3, and Nap has 0. So
Let's go.
Yeah, let's
These are-
go.
Yo, pacifist route. Let's go.
These are,
Fucking-
these are confirmed kills, by the way. Confirmed kills
Odin
are...
is like staring at the number and he's like, no way, that's just that. There has to be more. Wait, you're telling me that those people I stepped on, they just counted as like all
They count as
as a group, they counted as one?
Those count as units. We don't take account into each soldier operating the mechs, even if they're working as a squad or unison. These are only statistics.
Okay, so
after
but
all.
my kill count is still higher then.
If you
realistically
want to
speaking.
believe it,
Assists, please.
of course.
This seems like an unnecessary detail to focus on.
Of course. Listen to your companion Flower. This is only, after all, general procedure for the connected. This is not something
Sure.
I'm fond of myself even. I don't think the amount of kills a soldier has makes them as experienced as a general, of course. The fact that you're back here in one piece is enough to show your skills
One
have
Piece?
served purpose. Now then, I'm sure Interlink has already resumed up on a quick debrief on the situation, but I'm here to go a little bit more in detail of what we did. Like mentioned, we have acquired an important data about a plan in relation to the separation's plans. We don't know exactly what they intend to do, but thanks to you, the decryption already occurring thanks to Interlink as well with our many analysts at work, we know exactly that their next operation will be striking at Ermos. You may not be familiar with, but Ermos is a moon around Z's. We might have a hunch on why they would like to assault Ermos, but we'll leave that for the rest until we're more sure. This is only my own personal speculation, and I wouldn't want to feed that information onto mercenaries like you. All they need to know is objectives, and I'm not here to give false objectives. Now, so this is how it's going to be. Regardless, I would like to inform you that we open up our license program. I'm sure Annalyn has already mentioned it herself, but I want to just make it clear that we're not giving these for free. This is all being deducted from your paycheck. The credits that you've earned per mission is already deposited each time you succeed or fail on a mission, though the license will happily take deduction of those credits as needed. The all-serial can contain up to several weaponry of across systems from many major corporations. And, of course, I feel like I should mention this, but Flamman, the displacer you've acquired will unfortunately have to be deducted from your Mac. Unfortunately.
Weeping.
I don't know if you want to
Scream.
Do you actually scream like that, Flamman, or do you be more mature about it?
It's an internal scream.
I guess.
You can see a tear drop from his eye. A single tear.
It's over.
Love
It's
the
so
display.
over.
What video?
What are you gonna do with that displacer, anyways?
I'm sure the displacer, well, will have to be dismounted, of course. Separation technology, as useful as it was in your mission, I'm quite certain that any future uses of it could lead into... Oh, sorry. I should probably put down vibrator. My bad.
Vibrator?
A space ambulance.
I'm sorry. Right. As I was saying,
Can I at least sell it for parts?
there's no need for selling it for parts. This is separation technology. There's no reason to try and profit off of rebellious junk on the whatever black market you use.
That is precisely why I'm doing this mission.
This is more than just selling cheap parts on black market, Flatman. Regardless,
I will admit, I'm surprised how the rebels have acquired such powerful weaponry like this.
that is the result of many long-spanning years of assault and surgical strikes, which still surprise me to this day. The separation has been nothing but fueled by a mix of our own combined armory, as well as whatever other inter-system, well, I wouldn't say technology, more like scrap put together, as seen with your own eyes.
Damn.
Question, actually.
Yes, Flower?
A displacer is quite the hardy tech. Is there any possibility that they might be sponsored? I know Harrison Armory tend to fund a lot of different things, but is that a possibility at all?
I wouldn't be surprised. We're us, the connector, on here to interfere with corporation needs. If they desire to supply and utilize their own experimental equipment on such lowly rebels, I'd be honestly quite surprised, considering how badly they've been using it. VDR, what is it?
I'm quickly gonna go run and get some water.
Sure.
Maybe I could convince you to allow me to keep my displacer.
That was a 16. Or 18, actually.
That was 18. I'll go over here, but this is not like D&D where you can just charm your way out of everything. Plus, that would be more like a power at a cost type of deal.
Okay, I'm back.
No,
Yo.
it's not gonna work. You can't.
Maybe
got
you'll
sticky
let me get a
fingers.
hold of
He
my
is getting a hold of
displacer.
something, alright.
Wait.
Oh. Bridge?
You're quite
Bridge
tough
wink?
today.
Bridge wink?
Very rigid,
Okay.
Mr. Bridge.
Shut up.
Bridge is very much disapproval of your little attempt at trying to acquire technology that's already been plucked out of your Mac and subsequently probably scrapped as well. It's kind of fruitless to try and charm him.
Grab a hunk of scrap metal.
No.
Don't you have a heart, Bridge?
Whatever technology you wish to keep, it's no purpose to you anymore. Whatever we give you here will be more better than whatever cheap displays you acquire from some rebels. I'm sure you've grown attached to it, but eventually I'm sure you can get one back that's not impossible to explode on your weapon, on your mech. So, Ilya, when you want to declare such roles, at the very least, you must say it before you roll, so I can at least tell you what bad thing can happen if you don't succeed.
Why don't you tell me what good things did happen? Because I didn't.
I mean, those are some pretty good rolls.
You have unlocked a new dialogue option for later in the campaign.
Probably
Ooh.
like yeah, like that.
Bridge will remember that.
And then the final combat, you see like the remains of the displacer like on like a destroyed mech off to the side. And go, it's my baby.
You earned it.
baby.
I kept this waiting for you.
So,
Did somebody call the thing stuff?
just to continue on, Bridge will now give a little momentary pause, and then he'll press a few buttons, and he'll speak up. Regardless, with your mission now complete, and now you'll have to be put on hold, before ending this debrief, I'd like to introduce a new member to the team that will be participating in all operations from now on. This is not by my command, but more from the higher-ups of the connected officers. And as he presses buttons, it shows up and brights up like a little hologram, right? Kind of like Interlink, but not exactly, because this person like pops up. Yeah,
It's gonna be Crocobot. Oh,
not Crocobot. I'm sorry.
I literally thought for a moment it was
I want
gonna
my
be
money
like
back.
a new player.
Not
like-
Crocobot.
Aquabot.
And as they show up the hologram, but it's not her. It's more like a masculine shape, somebody clad in a more formal yet common uniform found across the shape that you've seen before. And you can right away notice that this person is, they have like a bit of an tired expression, but you can tell with your own like instinct that this person is just as much committed to his job like a Bridge or Interlink. He saluted all of you upon spawning in, and he spoke up. Hey, there you are, the mercenaries. My name for this operation is Lens, and I'll be your intelligence officer for the operation. The higher-ups demand to move me up from down there. Couldn't say no. Reason being that we need to understand our enemy proper since we're in combat with them now. All data that you get about their weapons, mechs, and whatnot will be processed by me, so that we can get a better understanding of their militia. I don't personally get why we weren't doing this before, but, come by my new office later if you want to chat, I guess. And Bridge interjects, stepping in, placing like his hands on the table, kind of like leaning in, be more in focus, or serious.
Seductively?
Not seductively.
Oh my.
How can a man lean on the table? The man with a face like that seemed like he's seductive.
Don't say
at
that.
all.
I don't know. I've been part of the fucking Yakuza fandom, and they love the grizzle scarred old men.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
on.
what are you talking
Yeah.
I mean, I was turned on.
Stop
when I
being
saw him.
so
He's got that
judgy.
rack.
So
let Bridge
Thank you
take
for
care of himself
informing
like a
me.
sexy French girl. It's fine.
thank you for informing that all of your characters are gay towards Bridge.
No, I said that out of character. I'm not even
We're
sure
all
the franchise is
seeing
still
the
around
same
3,000 fucking years later.
Sorry. So he leans in and he speaks up. From now on, your mercs need to scan as much as you can of these terrorists and their weapons. Your mechs will have all data recorded once you're back, and now access to the database for separation forces recorded. Information is critical, and right now we need the most we can of it. Report to him as he's seen fit. He's a member of this operation, and cooperating with your team members is a key to success. Lance speaks up, just, kind of stepping in with his hologram, kind of phasing through the table, actually, for like a moment. Hey,
Damn.
anytime you bring me new data, I'll buy interviews a beer, eh? And Bridge gives like a
Hey.
stern look at him. Lance gives like a smile back, but then Bridge
He's a
forcibly
homie.
turns off the hologram with a press of a button. So, with Lens gone, the new character added, he speaks up once again, standing up and straightening up his back as he speaks up to all of you. Order from the higher-ups. Don't come back from missions empty-handed on data from now on, understood? Your mech should be
Understood.
equipped with the scan ability. Once you find a new target, scan them first before engaging in combat. This will be critical for any success, as well as keeping an informed, streamlined database of the opposing force will be a great help for whatever you encounter in the future.
You see Odin like visibly like roll his eyes and like groan at the thought of having to like not kill immediately.
Rich
Okay,
does-
we have the scan before Odin gets to him. Got ya.
There you go. I'm so glad that you offered, so I don't have to scan, right?
I'm not saying to not engage the enemy. Of course you can engage the enemy, but it's always better to have more complete results by engaging before doing any damage. Or else you'll be confused with false information, and you won't know exactly what the mech can actually hold together before suffering possible further damage.
Everything dies all the same if you apply enough damage to it.
Yeah, but if you know your enemy good enough, you can kill them quicker.
If you kiss him enough.
Pay attention. I feel like Nap is just mumbling to himself for that one.
Yeah. Figuring it out.
Vaccine has the right intention. Knowing your enemy includes having better strategies and taking less damage without having to do any mistakes. Right then. You're all going to be in Down Under for now. We will take care of the reports of this operation and see what we can do for you, and afterwards we take care of this information. We will make sure to see if you can have your next operation soon, but until then, you may utilize the ship as you deem fit for anything. If you're going to go around it, however, I recommend you all wear the uniforms and then get the ugly eye from others. You're all already registered on the ship, but not everyone will take kindly to seeing you without a uniform, lest you want to make it cut and clear that you're just mercenaries squatting in the ship.
Yeah.
I'd like to remind you all that as much as we can to protect your identities and keep you off from any possible bounty hunters, or worse, popular population, is up to you to try and maintain that while in your stay on the All-Seer. Regardless of the ship, anything may be available for your usage, but don't abuse it. Anything you do here is being cut off your paycheck. Any more questions?
Is there a map for the ship?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, I'll show it off afterwards.
she suddenly sounded so much nicer.
Oh, you were asking in character.
I
Fine.
was asking
Also-
in character.
Also, oh, see, what the hell is going on with Lens? That man is so sweaty, he's melting. What
Let
the?
the man be nervous. Man
Nervous?
be angry.
He's
Rose
melting.
working.
I mean, wouldn't you be nervous
Talking
if
to a bunch of
Bridge was
people
like
that
your,
shut
your
down.
boss?
Just got home
Fair
from
enough.
killing people.
I know you said in character, Lolo. Sorry, I thought you meant out of character.
No, it's fine.
But you know, Bridge responds not nicely. Of course, that's not his personality. And he
Wow.
responds,
Damn.
"Of course, there's a map. You'll find a map on your data pads. You've already uploaded it right after you got here." Again.
He says the same thing I said, but rudely.
Yeah.
Well, he took on, man.
This guy hates me.
So
He calls you a piss baby in the middle of it. I don't know why.
Yeah. Really unprofessional personally, but you know.
So, you know,
Yeah.
if you don't have any more questions, which, you know, if you have more questions, please say so, out of character, in character as you prefer. But,
So,
in relation to the debrief, of course, or anything else.
Bridge.
Yes.
Would we find uniforms in our own lodgings, or is that a specific area we find those?
It's all in your rooms in the closets.
Okay.
Uniform should be fit for your size, but if there's an issue, you may always complain to Interlink. I'm sure she could get someone to help you out with that.
There's like a visible like relaxation in hearing like the word like fit for your size. Flourish like, oh thank God.
Now I got a question here.
Yes, fireman.
You want us to be doing scans in the heat of battle? These automatic scans, and I have to initiate this survey.
It should be no issue for you already, considering how you can already spend your time dashing and moving about with your mechs. Quick reactions is all that matters, and a scan, in all honesty, is just a press of a button for you mechs.
Now the enemy could also move around. I think if I had some sort of powerful weapon that maybe did the energy damage, great access, I could hold it down and scan better.
Oh,
Your displacer will not help you scan enemies. If you mention the displacer one more time, I will have to forbid you from even acquiring a displacer again. Behave, mercenary.
I know how much like the displays of Raman, but it's gone, my friend.
so over.
Vaccine just put like a hand on his.
I have a
Flatman's
question,
shoulder.
actually, as well.
Yes, Odin.
Where in the ship could we acquire... Wait, what did he call me by?
Odin.
Oh, okay. Where in the ship could we acquire... Why is my phone here? 1 second. Sorry.
We got a lot of phones in here.
No. You have your data pads, but you don't actually have any communication.
Actually, what is a
Oh,
phone?
we get to keep our iPads, but not our phones.
What's an iPad?
You don't even have Wi-Fi.
What's Wi-Fi? What's all these terms?
What is a Pokemon?
I'm pretty sure that technology like routers and Wi-Fi and so on is like considered like archaic technology in Lancer world. I'm pretty sure you can actually find stuff like that still, like as an exotic thing. Because I'm pretty sure I remember reading out in the book that like there can be like factions. I think Horus actually can be quite obsessed with it. I think I'm not sure.
Would make sense for like a technical lineup.
Ooh, technical.
They probably like an old ass hard drive of like Hatsumi Muki images.
1 second, guys. I'm really sorry.
No worries.
My mom and dad aren't home, so I have to like take care of the house.
Oh.
And my mom just called me like, "Hey, I forgot to do this thing. Can you do it so the house doesn't explode?" Not literally, but I'll be right back.
Oh,
Yeah, no
sure. So Anton like speak up. There is no penalization for not coming back with data, except you'll be penalizing yourselves, of course. It should be obvious that if you don't come back with data, you'll have a harder time encountering these enemies again.
Oh, so we have to fill out our bestiary. Okay.
Yes. Basically like that.
Yes. It's our Pokedex.
Will we have a chance to look through this data in between missions?
Yes. Now yes, like in character or out of character?
Well, how should we phrase it? Will we have access to this data between missions?
Yes, you will. This, well, out of character, I'm just telling you right now that this will be in a journal, actually. And this journal is something you can access quickly. And for all full intents, it'll be a journal that will contain every NPC you've scanned. However, there are rules to this. I don't want to make it completely easy because scanning actually has different parts to it when you actually use it. If I recall, scanning gives you the full stat block of the moment you've scanned them, but then you have to make the choice if you want to get hidden info or generic info on what you're scanning. And this is actually all part of the database as well. As in, like, well, for example, just so I can, make it clear, right? When you scan for generic info, it'll give you like a history of the NPC you're fighting at least. It'll give you like a little history on the frame that they're using, or like what can be told about it and so on. And for hidden info, it'll actually tell you.
Sorry.
Hey, I was actually explaining the rules for scanning for the bestiary here.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
So
Sorry.
I was just saying, just quickly. I was just saying that since scanning in Lancer is a quick action, it's a quick tech action. By default, it gives you a full stat block of what the NPC is and what it has as traits and so on, like all of its abilities. Yeah, well,
Put it in chat.
Thank you. So
does it tell us the enemy's like current HP and stuff?
No.
Yes.
I put it in chat. Well, it doesn't get updated. Sorry.
It doesn't get updated. That is why he's telling you, Ridge has told you to scan it before any combat, because this will actually be useful when if you scan before any combat, you know exactly how the NPC is before anything happens, which just basically gives you the full stat block for it, and you know by all the time what it does, right? And what it
So
can
basically,
do.
keep track of numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
In character, Odin probably isn't really going to care, but out of character, I would want to know that, and I'll try and scan every now and then because I'm gonna need it for the execution ability once I get that with his other mech.
yes, of course.
Yeah,
This
of
is important. I mean, this is all shared between all of you. I can't tell you right away that Scape has this character with a trait that lets him, when he locks on, he already scans them as well. So
I'm a little Pokedex filler boy.
So basically, you can think of him like your little scanner boy if you want. But again, this is a quick action, so make your choices correct. This is a quick action. It's not to sacrifice before getting any combat started, or at least instead of getting the first hit, stuff like that. As you prefer. But yeah, First scan, when you scan by default, gives you the whole thing, but then you make the choice you want generic or hidden info. I'm just saying that generic info gives you like some lore on the thing you've scanned, gives you some information and so on. And the hidden info will, well, sometimes it'll give you hidden info depending on what it is, but normally it'll give you the tactics of the NPC that will usually opt for. So you can kind of get to know exactly how this NPC will play out and what it will normally do. Because again, these NPCs are characters, they are not mindless brutes, they have ideas and tactics to take care of, so...
Hearts and minds.
Exactly. So, as you scan...
No, it's all cold! Don't lie to me! Okay. So continue what I was saying before. I'm good to go?
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, so... I was wondering where we could get some, how do I put this? Medical supplements, shall we call them? He's gonna, like, pull on his cloak a little bit and show, like, the weird, like, device that's attached to, like, his, like, his chest. And he's gonna tap it and go, this thing is starting to run a little bit dry. So, I'm gonna need a refill.
I have connections of a decent bunch of pharmaceutical companies if you want to get on a discount.
Yo,
go on.
Membership card.
Reg will just kind of like interject after Vaccine mentions that. Odin, of course, we have whatever you require for your situation, of course. And of course, Vaccine can do whatever he prefers. Although any outside connection is very much limited for you mercenaries for security reasons. So, please, just head on over to the hospital if you prefer. Regardless, mercenaries, this is your downtime. I don't want you causing any trouble, because I'm not here to babysit anyone, but please, just stick down low and do whatever you prefer without bringing too much attention. This debrief is considered over. If you need anything, just call Interlink as you prefer. So, this counts as the debrief being, like, wrapped up, right? And with that done, Bridge just, walks away from the ship, and technically here, you're all on your own, right?
Yeah.
For the next 2 days now, you're all basically, let me just get this.
Paid leave, let's fucking go.
Yo, let's go. BRB real quick.
Sure. So you'll all be spending your time at the Allseer for the next 2 days. And with that being said, of course, this means that now we're on the part of downtime, and this is like the part where you just like a free form role play, but also quick actions if you prefer to just like get on with it type of deal, right? But I prefer if it could lean more to the role play aspect, because this is also the part where you can get stuff for free, basically. So
sorry, I thought this was a PG, not an RPG. I only thought we were gonna be playing games.
No. Do PG games just exist? I guess it's just...
Well, I mean, it's RPG is a role-playing game.
Yeah, okay.
I thought they were guns.
So, again, this is the part where you acquire reserves. Reserves are a pretty important part of Lancer. And reserves are basically the stuff that you can use before any mission. And usually it's stuff like a mod to your mech that makes you have 1 accuracy to everything you do. Or maybe just like a favor that you can call from someone, like a bombardment or a distraction, stuff like that, right?
You go to page 50 in the call rulebook.
Yes. I mean, if you have those, I guess. I don't know. If you don't have the book open, I don't blame you if you don't have the book open, right? It's whatever. If you don't, it's fine. I'll make it. I try to make it simple. But again,
I'm looking for the book right now. Like, go on.
It's page 50.
No, I'm looking for the book.
Oh.
I don't remember what I put.
I'll throw it at you. I can't.
No. I'll find it. I'll find it.
Screenshot.
It's in here somewhere.
I put it in the resource tab.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's loading. It's 160 megabytes, so.
But I mean, like, summarized reserves is just stuff you can use as an advantage, right? There's no bad things you can bring on a mission, but it's always something you have to declare that you're gonna bring it. Reserves will be always plenty, and all the time I'll give you as many as you make. And you know, I will give out reserves based on what you want as well. Like if you, for example, you want to say that, oh, I want like a better mech weapon, or I want my mech more tuned up to do this, you know, like you just have to say it. I'll tell you what you have to do, and I'll like come up with a scenario. Or alternatively, I can just give you like a little downtime action, which is just making a roll, and if that roll succeeds, you get what you want. But you know, freeform roleplay is encouraged. And also, since we're using the bond system now, this is basically the part where you can also put in here as well your ideals and whatnot. Obviously your ideals and, you know, your abilities and powers and whatever can also be used in the middle of combat if it calls for it. Just so you know, like this narrative stuff can happen in combat.
Oh yeah, true.
Narrative stuff can happen in combat, like, you know, for example, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. For example, if you're
like one of the I remember one of the wolf bond powers is that I can literally just say, hey guys, have a fun downtime, bye, and then I disappear and I only appear at the end of the downtime.
Yeah.
And I just go do like a solo mission on my own somewhere else.
Basically, stuff like that, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, like if your ideal, for example, is like protecting somebody, and we're in the middle of combat, if you throw your mech at somebody just to protect them, I would also count that as 1 XP for fulfilling your ideal, just so you know. So, like, I just want to keep in mind that I want to, like, you know, kind of embrace that role-playing aspect rather than just being very down to the meta rules and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can just give you a little brief sum up here of the ship, because, again, as you can see in the background, this is the All-Seer. This is where you're actually staying over. It's a huge damn ship. This is literally like a capital, right? You can see the background and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Just to confirm. Okay, cool. I've assigned here areas for where you can be at, you know, just to keep track of where you're going, and you can see like a little summary of what it is. My dad left my cat in the room. Mimi.
Put your cat on the mic.
Put your cat on the mic.
Gone.
Put a cat on the mic.
Put your fluffy
So,
on the mic.
as you can see the summary, if you want to go here, you can do what you want, and also this is actually where you can put all your triggers and your backgrounds and so on. Like, I'm not gonna force you to roll for everything that you do, like, because again, Lancer's a very, it's not like D&D, but you literally have to roll for fucking everything you do.
Yeah.
If your character is, for example, Vaccine, who is a paramedic soldier, he can't do medical stuff because he is actually experienced in that. He doesn't have to fucking roll for it, right? Like, that's obvious. But if you...
It's only for, like, tense situations and shit.
Yeah.
Tense, or you just literally try to do something. Survive. Yes.
I think I already know what I'm gonna do.
Sure, but I'm just gonna give you, like, a little brief description of the ship.
Yeah, no, sorry, just saying out loud for, like, everyone.
So, yeah. So, just a, like, quick explanation here. The ship is vast and enormous as a capital ship, which is also a military vessel spawning thousands of vehicles prepped for any situation, and so the activities to be done are enormous, right? So in this ship you can basically, you're currently at least at the middle under area, right? This is certainly around where you are. I don't have it in the picture, but there is like a section under the ship that connects the whole place up as like a little bridge type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I know that guy.
You can hold shift while you're dragging your token to more properly align it if you want. Like when you're holding it, hold shift and you'll put it where, yeah, like that. So, and I'll tell this right away before you like go out to your downtime activities. I'll tell you that if you're not wearing like a connected uniform, you may have a +1 difficulty anytime you're doing anything more complicated or more specific, right? Because as you go away from the under area to explore, you'll encounter crewmates, connected crewmates, of course. These are soldiers, and you may have run into the situation where you have to talk with them, or you have to ask somebody for permission. Kaik, if you hold shift while dragging, you can put it wherever you want. Like drag and hold shift and let go, and they'll be placed wherever you want, not aligned to the grid.
You don't have to follow the rules. There you go.
So,
Which one is where are the rooms?
The rooms are in the middle under, actually. The under area.
Oh.
I mean, if
rest
you
of
don't
the
know,
UI?
R&R means restore and recreation or something like that. I can forget.
Rest and recreation.
Rest and recreation.
I had to Google that.
Thank you. So, I mean, if you want to learn, just know more about a place or like an area, just say so, because I will explain our own.
So our rooms are in middle under.
Yes, you're all basically in middle under, essentially, and you go
I
from
am
there.
going to go
where-
put on clothes.
Yeah, I'm
the-
getting clothes on.
Okay.
I'm naked.
So, I mean, still, I'm just gonna tell you that there's like some downtime action.
Fanman, are you lost?
I'm getting flashbang
He
currently.
fell out.
I really like unique experiences.
Quick, someone get the tractor beam. Fanman jumped out of the ship.
They fell in the toilet.
Don't worry, my people can survive out here. We're fine.
What is it?
You
you
what?
are? You.
Sorry, currently
Creating Wally.
there's every single custom font failing to register is like flashbang in my screen, so I can't move
Oh
my
yeah,
finger.
I had that.
There we
earlier.
go.
It takes a
Didn't
second.
didn't you already close all that? I thought you did.
Well, I had to reload because my screen went black,
Oh.
and I didn't try the script because I forgot.
I mean, I didn't know it would go black. That. I mean,
Oh no, it's like, sometimes when I go back and forth from like two tabs,
Oh,
it just blows
well.
up.
That's kind of Foundry, I would say.
Yeah, it's fine.
But like, I just want to like, declare that some downtime actions. From what people told me, downtime actions is just a way to like skip to sum up very quickly what you were doing type of deal, right? Like if you don't want to role play it, you can just downtime action. It'll be like solved, like in a very abridged way, in case you just don't want to role play. So.
Odin abridged.
So, but of course, free form is also the way to go because that's like you can be more specific and your character can develop and so on and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
What I was planning to do was have Odin go to the medical bay and probably try and not only get his I gave that thing a name and now I keep forgetting it.
The juice.
The juice.
The
leaf.
no, not it's not specifically the drug. It's like the name of the thing that he has attached to his
The big slurper.
McDonald's Sprite.
something like
Soda
that.
machine?
The music.
God.
Yeah, his soda machine on his chest. Whatever. His soda machine on his chest, and
Music.
refuel it with drugs. But also he would like try and see if he can get anything else exotic
Yeah.
over on the medical. So that would be probably a scrounge and barter downtime action.
Yeah. Basically, just like a point about that, but again, it's more like. People just kind of told me that you can kind of mix the two if you want to like do a downtime action plus like a freeform roleplay, because like technically there is no real limit on how many reserves you can get. Well, obviously I'm not going to give you like 50 reserves, but it's more like think of it in the context of that this is all happening within like a single day, right? What is it? Because you have 2 days of downtime, so think of it this way: what is your character going to be doing like across a whole day aboard this ship? Like, what are their goals? What do they want to do? What they want to get? 'Cause-
Drugs.
Well, it can't just be drugs. But if it is, I don't blame you. It can't.
Odin is for now. Odin is a simple mind. He wants to do his whole thing, which is be immersed so he can get money to get drugs.
Also, you can go together if you prefer. Like, a character wants to talk to a character. Because I just want to point out that some of the actions you can do here is, explore the ship, which is just to walk across the ship, do what you want to walk around in, and based on your role, you get to learn something about technology used. Maybe you meet up with someone to get you tuned up, and you can also speak with superiors. Like you can go talk with Bridge or Interlink or Lens as you prefer, and you can also connect with others, which would be like talking around, trying to hit up like a crewmate or something like that, get to know a little bit more. And there's also recreation and relax, which is hitting up any of the various rest and recreation areas among the ship. So,
Well, me first. I'm getting my uniform, so I don't want to troubles later.
So, yeah.
Same.
you gotta go like, I'm pretty sure like one at a turn,
Yeah.
because again, kind of like the warehouse. So let's I don't know, who wants to go first?
I can start.
Okay, so let's start with you. So Flower, tell me,
Wait, not me.
Oh.
I said Argon.
Oh, I thought you said.
Odin will see everyone
I
going to
heard
get a
my name.
uniform, and he's gonna go. I'm not gonna get in the line, and then he's just gonna go right away without a uniform anyway.
So, okay, Argon. What does Vaccine do to begin with?
Well, first of all, he goes off to his dorm and get the proper uniform on.
Of course. You get on the uniform, which will, you're dressed up like a connected soldier, which, I think I should pull up like a little reference here on what a connected soldier looks like.
Yes.
Oh, let me just...
Yes, please.
Can I, like... Oh, that's a pilot, not an NPC. Oops. Can I, like, pull up an image? Oh, wait, no, I can't. Although I need to make a connected soldier as an NPC here. Hold on.
You can just put it in the Discord chat for now.
Yeah, but my image is like... Hold on.
Hold on.
Wait, just enjoy that music as I put this up.
Yeah, this is funny.
Can you guess from what game it is?
No.
It's
It's from the Gundam game.
No, it's from Brigador.
I know.
Brigador.
Brigador.
I
Brigador.
Let me just pop. Click this. Click that. Click this. Okay, I can. There we go. Looks like this. This is kind of like the uniform it looks like. You can opt. Of course, yours can opt to have the helmet as well if they want. If preferred, there's no need. But well, it's up to you really.
No helmet.
Where is it?
Oh.
And there's
I know.
right there
We're free.
Right there, where?
bottom left.
on Foundry.
I don't see it.
You don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I think he's pulling a prank.
No, I don't. I really don't see it.
Do you not see yourself pulling up?
Oh, now I see. Weird.
Oh.
It wasn't like updating for me.
Well, probably happens when you like idle for too long. I'm not sure. But okay, so well, that's basically the uniform.
Yeah, Odin didn't wear that.
So Vaccine puts on the uniform. Do you opt for the helmet as well, or?
No helmet.
Kai, you'll put
No
your
helmet,
turn,
bro.
silly man. Also, you can always tell me if you're with someone, if you want to be with someone, like if you want to get down to that, like if you prefer to go with someone. Are you talking with my? I'm sorry, I didn't notice. I'm bad. But yeah, Vaccine, you put on the uniform. What will you do for the day?
I did notice that in combat the focusing on my custom laser weapon is a bit out of whack, so I'm just gonna go to the appropriate place and take a look at that real quick.
So you would like to go over to the left wing in the hangar, or would you
Yeah.
prefer? Oh, okay. So you move your ass over to the left wing, walking through.
It's a bit of a passion project, so.
Sure, no. I mean, that sounds pretty fair, actually, because this actually got to the other part of downtime actions, and I'm pretty sure also bonds. Because the bond system also brings, like, projects and clocks you can make, which is, like, working towards something cool that you want, right? So in that case, you want to work towards perfecting your prototype weapon, right? So I'm gonna tell you right away, your prototype weapon is given by your trait, of course, but what you will work on is more like a hugely improved version of it that your trait gives, like beyond what your trait gives, right? So I just want to say that you don't have to worry about like the rest of your trait, because it gives you like a better version of it anytime you level it up.
Yeah.
So what you're working is kind of more specific to your needs, right? So
Yeah.
hold on.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Bless you.
So you go over to engineering, or you prefer the hangar? The hangar is much more populated, but it's not. It's more like people won't really bat an eye to seeing you just kind of work on
The
something.
hangar's fine.
Okay. So the hangar. I'm just gonna pull up the description of this. the hangar is the main departing area for all the ships, primarily fighters, and then rarely utilized for transporting cargo. That you can tell based on the the severe lack of ships akin to what you use, what you've used them, right? The industrial ship, because the understand is more appropriate for that. But a lot of it is like by different classes of ships that you don't really recognize. There's elevators and whatnot being used for appropriate combat-ready situations. It smells like pure fuel and energy, but it maintains a very cold atmosphere for all intents and purposes. It's very much populated by a bunch of soldiers dressed up exactly like you. Some of them are a little bit different, you can't exactly tell, but nobody here seems to really bat an eye towards you, right? So you can tell that there's some ships just parked but being utilized for VR training, right? Yeah, people just, inside the cockpits and so on. But there's definitely like a bunch of cargo and a spot you can utilize for quick tooling of whatever you desire, which they will utilize, right? Nobody really seems to care that you're just kind of pulling up there, bringing about your own gear, your own tools and whatnot, or the weapon. Well, I wouldn't say you're bringing your weapon, but more like, I don't know. Like, would you say you're bringing the weapon itself, or would you say like you're more like working like just kind of figuring it out first before actually trying to modify it?
Actually, give me an idea. What's the size of like a size 1 mech exactly?
Yeah, it's kind of big, huge even. Like this is like the size of like an APC type of deal.
It's like a 10-foot, like usually around 10 feet.
Imagine a tank but standing. But if you want to work on your,
I imagine it'd probably be something I can carry in 2 hands, something that size, right?
The prototype weapon, I mean, damn, it's a massive ring on your head. I would say that's big. But I mean, we could technically say, because since this will be like a project you want to work on, right? This is something that you kind of want to focus on so you can get something awesome.
I just want to get an idea for scale, is all.
It's pretty big, alright? The ring is like the person size, basically. I would say so.
Okay, I need a forklift for that one then.
Yeah, but we can't...
Well, it's probably best I just like go and try to make it itself and just climb on top and just do adjustments from there.
You can also do that. I mean, but technically, what I can suggest is that you don't bring it here, but more like you just kind of start tooling around with the idea of improving it, right? Like, because you want to set a goal, right? And the goal right now is making your prototype weapon even better, right? This is beyond the trait that it gives you, so this is beyond that. So let's just say, like, I don't know, how much of an engineer exactly is Vaccine?
Well, Vaccine's background is being part of a rebellion in like on a system that was like owned by a corp. So quite a lot of the weapons that kind of had, even though they had like decent selections of weapons, quite a lot of it had to be like retrofitted for like mining equipment and the such.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, mining lasers, refurbish that.
So technically I would say that this is, well, something along your area, because they're lasers. But since you do want to improve on what you already have, which is, the engineering trait gives you, I would say that this is like a 6 slice clock, I would say. Like, normally it's like, I think it's 4, 6, 8, and 12. Like, it's always like in little segments. So, I don't know, let's say... Actually, no, let's make it 8, right? So, if you want, you can make in your CompCon. Also, you will have to use your CompCon for tracking these things.
I guessed as much.
So, because Lancer and Foundry does not have the bond system in yet, only on the new version that they're making. So, all of that will be tracked here. I mean, it's not too important, but at least just keep that in mind. So, just make like a clock that should be 8 slices, and you can call it making an exceptional prototype weapon, something like that.
I just put prototype weapon refinements exceptional in brackets.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, 8 o'clock. I'm just gonna do it myself, so I at very least know. Okay. So you're gonna start this project, and I'm pretty sure that the rules, as they say, when you take an action towards it, and if it's successful or effective, you fill in 2 segments, and if it's very effective, you fill in 3. So, but if you fail, you only fill in 1. So
8 segment clock. Yep.
Yeah, 8 segment. So for that one, let's see. What's your triggers? Just so I know.
Hold on. Let me save this clock real quick so I can look at it.
What are triggers? I saw that when.
Very soon that's an anime studio.
It's just skills, Gabe.
My triggers: get some quickly, hack or fix, patch, stay cool, and survive.
Oh, those.
Okay, so for this situation, then I would say that you are, to start this project, you kind of start picking apart at what you find on the hangar, like whatever's open on the cargo, free for the taking, essentially. Nobody really seems to care.
It's basically just like the spare parts bin somewhere.
Yes, basically like that. So
is a montage happening right now?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I got myself some 80s synthwave montage music going on.
I did watch Rocky yesterday, so.
Oh my god.
I'm ready for a montage.
So I would say just roll like
some Kavinsky, how do you say his name?
Just roll like a D, like just click on your hack or fix skill trigger and see what it gives you.
Okie dokie.
I've got it.
Fair
Got
enough.
Escape.
Just natural roll, I'm guessing.
What BER?
No, out of context. Don't worry.
Oh, sorry.
Just a natural roll then.
Just click on the hack or fix on your skill sheet. Like.
I mean, my accuracy difficulty is just natural.
Yeah, just natural. No accuracy or difficulty here.
Ooh.
Damn, that's
that could be better.
Well,
a rough first day.
I would say that the time that you spend here working and trying to figure it out, you can go ahead and fill like 1 segment of your clock, just so you can keep track of it.
Yeah.
Even if you just spend your time here salvaging and trying to figure out a way.
Wait, hold on. How do I add a segment exactly?
I'm pretty sure you just like click on it, right?
Oh, that's the plus button. I'm fucking blind.
Yeah. And but I would just say that the way as you work on the little prototype weapon, you kind of chip away at it. Not to, that there's a lot to be done. You have like a long road ahead of you to try and better it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I got a chance to really,
Really, you're kind of warming back up to it, essentially. That's why it took you like this. But even amidst your, your like a little scavenge, you kind of find something that you can already use for yourself. And you do find, however, is just a little chipset that you just know will fit exactly right in your own Mac. And this chipset, you can kind of fit in your pocket, actually. So by taking that chipset, that basically is a reserve. This is like your first reserve. So I need to I'm just gonna pull up your foundry sheet.
I should probably sing that real quick. Hold on.
I just need to pull up your foundry sheet. I think it specifies save reserves over here. I think. I think it's palette. Oh, here, no, palette narrative reserves. Okay, I'm just gonna drag and drop a little reserve here. There we go. I did it. So I'm just gonna put it up here on the chat, just so everybody can so you can see yourself. But this little chipset here will grant you smart ammo on all of your weapons of your choice, So I think this is basically literally all your weapons, or just the ones that you prefer. I don't know. So, but again, reserves last only for a mission, so make good use of it whenever you want to.
Oh, basically just a template buff.
What?
Basically just like a template buff.
Yes. That's the point of reserves. They're basically little boost or little buffs that you can use for the mission. And you're not forced to use them right away, by the way. These are yours for keeping for as long as you want, unless there's a moment where you don't have access to your reserves or something like that. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, so even if you just do a little bit of work on your little prototype weapon, you get to keep something for yourself. It's yours. It's yours, my friend.
As long as you have enough rubies.
And I would say that if you still want to, you can still, I don't know, would you say that Vaccine spent all of his day working up on the thing and so on, or would you say that he actually finished up and did something else before the day was over?
I mean, I still leave a little time to relax, obviously.
Okay, would you say that Vaccine went back to his room to relax, or did he actually go out for one of the many spots for rest and recreation?
I check out some of the R&R places, get myself acquainted with the ship as well.
Sure. So, also,
actually, where do I put the reserves in my sheets?
I already put it for you. It's on your dossier. It is all within the foundry, but in narrative. It's in narrative. Sorry.
Narrative.
All the way at the bottom.
Where do you make clocks?
It's in CompCon under bonds. There's just one that's just called add new clock.
Yeah. And you click the pencil, and you can add as many segments as you want.
Yeah. What sort of reserve is it?
It's a smart ammo.
No, I mean, like, is it a pirate bonus reserve?
No, it's for your mech. Reserves are always for your mech or pilot.
Mech.
This is for your mech. The little chipset that goes for your mech. So
smart. I don't see smart ammo on here though.
Are you on the narrative tab?
Yes. Now to profile.
In the foundry, by the way, not in CompCon.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't have access to your CompCons. Bonds are exclusively CompCon, so and your clocks as well.
Where do I see that? Where do I see that?
Click on your little sheet. Click on your character, like on the actors tab. Scroll down and click on Devon Fury, and it should open up your sheet. Or just double click your token.
Narrative. There it is.
Yeah, just everything that's.
I was a bit confused with site you meant though.
Yeah, sorry. But for future reference, CompCon is for clocks and bonds, but everything else that happens in game, like reserves and stuff, will happen in Foundry. You could put it in your CompCon if you want as well, but it's not really necessary. Everything that matters is in here.
Perfect.
So you go on the left wing. The rest and recreation is actually across the whole area, but they all have the occasional bar or store actually, because you do take notice that the All-Seer is akin to more like a city of sorts, not like a mall type of deal, but some halls just lead into like little stop gaps, little checkpoints for like.
There's particular districts of this partnership, like you got residential.
Something like that.
As residential as like a military ship, like that. I guess.
Yeah, I know. Basically, it's a huge ship. This is like, I won't say the size of a country, but the size of like, at the very least, I don't know, like 10 squares of city or something like that, like up and above.
Are we talking like London sized or?
I would say, I don't know, man. It's like a ship. I'm not good with scale, but this thing is big. I know. Have you seen the fucking Star Wars?
This thing big.
It's big.
This thing big. That's all.
Okay, maybe not London size. London is a bit big, but I get what you mean.
It's a big ship, okay. So, again, it's like there's many checkpoints you can stop at, but there's also like a more focused area, like a little bar, stuff like that. So if you just want to stop at a moment, like at a place, and like get acquainted. Yeah, you can just do that, because there's always soldiers walking around or sent down. Up to you what you prefer to do on the rest and recreation.
Well, maybe see if I can see Farah, check up on him, see how he's doing.
Okay. So.
Because I did see Farah get shot up last mission.
Yeah.
So just.
I don't know how to really do about that, but I guess I would just leave it for. I don't know, like for around the end after Flower does like his other own things before meeting.
Well, if it's towards the end, then before that, I'd probably just like go to a bar and. You know.
I'm just saying, like, it's just kind of like keep it track of things that's happening.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, it's just kind of hard to know when to do everything simultaneously. And
Yeah, I get you.
Like I would prefer if you already point me out if you want to hang out with somebody if you want, but. like another player and not an NPC. But if you're saying that you want to hang out with Flower afterwards, then it'll stay like that. And before we get to that, I'll just, I don't know, maybe I should move on to another person, or should we just wrap up what Flower and Flower and the vaccine did before the day was over?
Yeah, just do what that.
I don't mind either way.
Hang out.
So, you go check up on Flower around the end of the day, right? I'm assuming up towards his room. Where would Flower be around the end of the day, Lolo?
Yeah, he'd probably either be in his room or like out somewhere eating.
Out somewhere. I mean, up to you. Just make your choice on what you prefer.
Well, if it's that late, probably on the way back to wherever his barrack is.
Okay. So, Vaccine just, walks up to where our room's in around the middle under of the ship and comes across you, Flower. So, Vaccine kind of, what would you prefer? How do you dress up to Flower as he's like kind of coming back from the day? Also, would Flower be wearing his uniform or not? Like
he would be wearing
the connected uniform.
Connect uniform, yeah.
Okay. So, Vaccine, what would you like to mention up to your companion, mercenary Flower?
Hey, Flower. You alright
Oh,
there?
hey. Huh?
After the whole scuffle inside the server room, you got shot pretty bad there.
Well, I'm fine. You patched me up proper, and I went to medical to get the rest checked, but they seemed to say it was all fine, and I feel pretty good. A bit stiff, but it's quite fine.
You should be fine by the morning, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate you being there quickly. It was pretty intense. Suddenly, I kind of messed up in not dispatching him quick enough.
Well, if you survived, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
And you did good for what you did.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to here, actually, in general on the ship?
Well, mostly just been working on my mech in particular, bit of a pet project of mine.
Oh, is that anything physical on your frame? I didn't actually recognize. It looked a bit outlandish with some of its design.
You talking about the big circle on its head?
Yes.
That's the pet project.
Ah.
Big laser.
Air conditioner.
Huh. The air conditioning.
What, you thought it was air conditioner? I know I like the cold, but not that much.
Is it based on anything, or is it just something you kind of came up with?
Bit of A, bit of B. Initially, it was repurposed mine equipment. Back home, there was a bit of a rebellion going on, and I was part of it.
Oh.
And we didn't exactly have much of a way of like standard equipment, so
Yeah, I
quite a
can
lot of it
imagine.
was refurbished from the occupants' corporation that used that had like a focus on mining and all that.
Mm.
So we kind of most of our equipment was like repurpose some old equipment, slap it onto our personnel, our mechs, and well, been working ever since.
Interesting. Huh. I wouldn't actually have much experience with that. I would love to give you a smart hint with anything, but that's a bit out of my league.
That's fine. I got it from here. Don't worry about me.
Yeah. Well, we're a team for now, so at least I have to worry about you, so...
No way.
Back, alright. So,
Okay.
also, you can always tell me when you're like done with the conversation or consider it finished. By the way,
Is this conversation happening in like the medical?
it's happening in the
area,
front
or-
of Flower's room around the way.
It's like at the end of the day,
yeah,
essentially.
it's around the end of the day, right? This is
But
why I
going
said
forward in
that
time.
at the start of the downtime. Just tell me if you're gonna hang out with a player, like a player character at least, so we can account for that. Kind of, I mean, it's not like I get really bummed if you want like later just say, oh, actually, I want to hang out with character. I don't mind. There's no problem with that. But just saying, it helps organize things better.
Yeah.
But still, so little conversation done, and with that conversation, you don't exactly get any reserves out of it because you didn't really get much from it.
It's just friendly chat.
It's fair
Yeah.
but you do actually both get one experience for talking with each other, as well as Vaccine talking about his background with Flower.
Yeah.
So if you want, please increase by 1 XP
Okay.
on your little bond sheet as you prefer.
Yeah.
Wait, do I get 1 or 2?
Just one.
One.
Both of you
Actually,
got one.
I forgot to say one thing about Flower suddenly being in the connected uniform.
Yeah.
So he's not wearing the helmet he usually has with the shroud around it. This kind of cucks me that I haven't finished the drawing. But he has a lot of hair. Like, you know that, like, it's not to that degree, but like if everyone's watched Adventure Time, yeah?
Yeah.
You remember that scene where like Finn shows his hair to that witch?
Christ.
It's kind of that, but like half the length, but it's still like a lot that he somehow keeps tugged under that helmet.
Like
just
down
in like
to shoulder length, mid back length.
yeah, like mid back length.
Damn.
It's just like in a
L'Oreal
ponytail.
commercial looking ass.
What color
Yeah.
is it?
It's like
Yeah.
silvery yellow.
Oh,
Titanium blonde? No.
Yeah, sorta.
damn. Missed your chance to get a new reserve shampoo from Flower.
There is shops for like conditioner and all that around here. Why?
Huh?
What?
I'd say I joke me out of character.
Oh, okay.
Well, but still, that kind of would wrap up the day for Vaccine, of course, and essentially also Flower, but still Flower has to do like his stuff before the day finishes. So basically, just that's kind of how it goes, but it can be more than that, right? Because like
Yeah.
I don't mind if you extend yourself to do even more than just one thing in a day. Like you can do like 5 things in a day as long as you kind of explain yourself well what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's kind of the whole point of downtime. So yeah. So who wants to go next?
I already sort of know what I'm gonna do, so
Go for it. Tell me. But how does Owen
Alright.
start his day after the debrief? Oh,
Well,
after the debrief, but
he's gonna go right away to he's gonna consider getting a uniform, but as he gets there, he's gonna know there's like a line of people of like his teammates already getting a uniform. He's gonna, I'm not gonna get a line, and then he turns around and just goes straight to medical
okay.
to go and get supplies for his little
Sure. On the way
sort
to
of stain on his
med-
chest.
Yeah, of course. On the way to medical, Odin does walk by several connected soldiers and crewmates, and they do give you a little bit of an eye, but they don't really engage in conversation whatsoever. They just kind of notice you. And I mean, even if you have similar colors, they know that your outfit is not exactly the same, or at least a variant of what they usually wear. So, but still, you make your way to medical. And for medical, of course, the ship has many medical posts and so on, but the medical area in the left wing is more akin to more like a hospital. Like, imagine like the entrance is more grand and more open, and the lobby is more akin to like, I don't know, think of those. I mean, you play Black Mesa, right? You know Black Mesa and like the intro where it has like the big circular
Sure.
table and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Think of it more that way. Like it has many hallways that can lead off, and there's many people like soldiers in uniform, and but still some people clad in doctor outfits as well, walking around. But there's still, of course, like a more open lounge area and more like a little store type of deal where you can pick up what you want, and essentially it's it's very open, right? Like
Okay.
so.
So there is a sort of a store thing that
Yes.
you don't need to like interact with anyone really.
You still need to interact with the store, the person
Okay.
at the post, but it's a big area you can enter, and by entering it, there's like a big disposal of many common pills, drugs, and so on. But if your idea is finding stuff for your serum, you can absolutely find it in some counters. So
Right. So I would imagine that the way how this go, like Odin would first get his stems refilled,
yes.
right, on his suit. Would I need to roll, or like would it cost me anything to do that, or do I just do it?
Depends. When you go to, of course, these items are on display for picking up. There is, of course, the guy at the post that it seems, well, you don't know exactly, but it seems that you may have to report it that you are going to pick something up at the very least before you leave. So depends on what you want to do. Do you want to like use the stim right away from off the counter, like quote unquote away from anybody's sight, or would you prefer to take it back to the post and see how it goes to find out how
yet.
things work?
Not yet. Odin would, despite him being a fucking gremlin, he would not like just start like using the stuff off the shelves. So he would like look over like the list of like or like the stuff that is available, and he would pick out the exact vials containing the stimulants that he needs to like refuel the machine that's attached to his chest.
Of course.
And then he would take them to like what's the closest thing that he can find to a calendar or something like that.
Yes.
And he would say, "All right, so I'm taking these. Do I gotta like pay you, or how do we work this out?"
So the one at the post, at the clerk, or whatever you want to call it, right? He's dressed up like a soldier, but a bit more less armor type of deal. He definitely looks more like a formal soldier sort of deal. Not like Bridge, but more akin to Lens with the shirt and tie added to the top. The soldier, he kind of peers up on you, up and down, because again, you are not dressed in uniform, so you're gonna catch a bit of an eye, and he speaks away because he does notice that you're just asking this, because it's probably the fact that soldiers are already acquainted with the way how the All-Seer works. But still, the soldier speaks up to you and he questions. With a bit of a tilt of his head, he says, usually, yes, but might I just ask what you're doing with all these serums?
I need them to keep functioning at peak performance. He's gonna say that like as he says that, his one like exposed eye is kind of like looking up and being kind of like, how do I word this in a way that doesn't make me look insane?
The soldier continues and responds, well, it's just really rare. These serums, they're not, you don't exactly seem, I don't want to be offensive, right? But I mean, it's just, you know, this is like for big guys, like huge dudes.
Are you calling me small?
I'm not sorry, man. I mean, I mean it that way. Of course, the soldier's a little bit relaxed, you know, like not everybody's like Bridge, right? So, just wanted to point that out. So don't expect like it's varied, you know. But the guy just kind of like.
Honestly, this stuff is just, you know, is day to day. I was actually wondering, and he's gonna like look away and then look back. You wouldn't happen to have anything with a little bit more kick stashed in here somewhere, would you?
Look, man, I'm just here guarding and taking care of making sure that all the items here are effectively supplied when needed. So, look,
right. So you know what's in here and what's not.
Of course, that's obvious, man.
Oh, so do you have anything with a little bit more kick or not?
Well, for starters, this is not exactly like a store. He points out, and he kind of like, again, he just kind of pulls up like his data pad under him, like over the counter, and he just claps away. But everything that he mentions, everything that we have here on display is, again, what we have. Stuff on the back is more like, you know, storage and stuff like that. But if there's anything specific you really need, you can just ask me and I'll see if I can find anything. So,
that's interesting to know. Could I have a look over that list? Out of curiosity.
Okay, man. You're not even dressed like a soldier. Who exactly are you?
I mean, look, here's the thing, right? He's gonna like he's gonna like grab like the zipper of his suit and he's gonna just pull up down like the neck a little bit. This thing doesn't come off. Okay? And as he tugs a little bit, you're gonna see that like the neck of the suit is like not connected like a normal suit, but as it like goes down, it's basically like glued together to his skin, basically.
Right, the soldier
like it sort of like melds into like one thing.
Yeah,
so unless you like, I could put on one of the uniforms, but I would have to wear it over this thing, and it would be really awkward, don't you think?
Imagine the smell.
Jesus Christ, man! Don't say that.
It doesn't smell. It cleans itself on its own.
Okay.
It's literally an item that already exists.
He had the
it is on
smell.
the. Okay, sure.
We need to hose him down one day.
The soldier kind of like cringes when he notices the way how your suit and so on merges together as one. I mean, he's not acquainted to stuff like that. He's probably been on the ship for like ever since he got enlisted, and he just kind of raises his voice a little bit. Sure, man, but thing is, I still don't know who you are. Can I just see your data pad, please? Surely you must have one. So, do you hand over the data pad, or are you reluctant in handing it over?
Okay, out of character a little bit.
Yeah.
Were we like forbidden from like showing ourselves off as being like?
You are not forbidden. Bridge did not say that you are forbidden from showing yourselves, but he did say you're all authorized around the ship. So think of it.
Yeah. So if we're authorized, then it's no problem if I show off the data pad, right?
Of course. I mean, just
yeah. Okay.
Not. I mean, I guess it's fair for me to say that the data pad is more like your little access token type of deal that has like your information. What you don't,
okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what it says on you, but if you show the data pad to him or to any soldier, they'll kind of, they'll understand.
Okay. So yeah. So that being said, Odin will like roll his one eye and go, "Fine, God, here," and then he's gonna like pull out like the little like access token, like slide it off. Is like there. Look and like have fun. In the meantime, and he's gonna like start looking around, like just from the spot he's in. You would happen to also have like hair dye around here?
Yeah, the soldier just kind of like takes your data pad, connects it up to his own. They kind of like, it's not like a connected wire, but more like he presses it up to the edge of his own, and it kind of like does like a little connection. I'm sure you've seen it before, type of deal.
Well, that's how they got that name.
So that's fucking stupid. Don't say it.
You're welcome.
So he kind of connects that, and while you speak about the hairdryer, he kind of makes like a little look over to the data pad as it spills out something, and he just kind of raises his hand and like waves and says, yeah, hairdryer.
No, hair dye.
Hair dye. Look,
like
sure.
The blonde type, like this one. He pulls his hair on a little bit.
Sure. You'll probably have to find that around the other stores, like little posts over around here on the rest of recreation. Sure. Again, just you can take whatever serum you want. It's no biggie. Sorry for bothering you.
No problem. He snatches like the data pad back.
So this is again.
Anything else?
No, the soldier doesn't really bother you after that. His expression is kind of a little bit not concerned, but he's definitely read something that is important. We can tell it from his face, but he doesn't really bother you after you take whatever many serums you want for your suit or whatever you prefer.
So yeah, Odin would probably then, after he says you can take anything you want, Odin would probably like stash up on like whatever he needs to like fill up his serum, and then he would take like one sample of like the closest things that he could find there that could give him like any sort of high or anything of the sort.
Sure, I mean,
like medicine-wise.
Plenty to go around. Obviously, this is all stims that you're picking out for, and practical purposes. These are stims, right? So
yeah.
Apart from your own stims, you kind of just get like a little extra couple of ones added to your disposal. And these serums, apart from being, they look familiar, there's other ones that you kind of are acquainted to. What exactly do you put the serums in you? Do you just do it right away, or do you intend to do that later? How exactly does the procedure work here?
I imagine that the way how it works for Odin is that he basically just like injects it into that little machine on his chest, and then it basically then, as it's needed, just like injects it into his bloodstream.
So you do this like right in the open? Do you just do it quickly, or do you like do it back in your room? How is it?
He would probably do it back in his room.
I didn't know he was diabetic. That's a shame.
Sorry?
I'm just thinking of like an insulin pump right now. So I'm just imagining Odin is just a diabetic.
I would say it's kind of like that, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah,
Except
honestly.
it's a drug addiction.
Yeah,
So-
it's horrible drug addiction.
Yeah, it's basically the same except
So you have your stims, right? And before the day is over, and I'll say it right away, this actually gives you a reserve, but I won't tell you yet until you're back in your room. But what would you like to do before you head back to your room? If there's anything specific, apart from, well, I'm assuming you want to go get the hair dye as well.
Yeah, he would go and get the hair dye as well, and then like I imagine that by the end of that day, he's like heading back to his room, and he's basically like carrying like basically like a shopping basket full of like stems.
It's exactly
and
not a shopping
and there's
bag,
like a
it's just a shopping bag with the connected
Yeah.
logo on it. It's all
Sure,
it's
and it's
colored
like a-
blue, and it has the white logo on it.
wow, they even have branded shopping bags. This place is
as fuck.
yeah, this place is incredible. Anyways, he's carrying that around. There's like the box like hair dye on top, and on his way back, he like everyone's room is around like the same area, right?
Yes. They're all
Okay.
separate rooms, all kind of like in the same hallway sort of deal.
Okay, so could we say that he's like returning around the same time that like Vaccine and Flower like finishing their conversation as well?
Sure, we can say that. Would you
But
say?
if you two are fine with that as well.
I mean,
Yeah,
that makes sense because it is like at the end of the day.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you come back around. This will be around the time where Vaccine and Flower like finished up the conversation, and you're kind of walking down the hallway, and well, I mean they're there, they're
You
standing.
pass by like Odin with like a bunch of shit like on a bag.
I'm just picturing Odin just carrying like a huge stack of hair dye. You can't even see his face.
Well, it wouldn't be. It's like one box of hair dye. The rest is all like drugs. But yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
anything specific you want to say to
Does
the
he-
two standing? I mean, does he actually care to talk to the other two who are finishing up the conversation, or?
I'm thinking because like both Vaccine and Flower are like know what the stims are as well,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So it would probably be easy to recognize like the 5'4" guy is like walking into his room with like enough drugs to like knock out a fucking elephant or something, right?
So what was?
Odin, like Flower, like leans over, like just like leans his head to the side from like
He
behind.
like pokes his head from behind like the bunch of like stacks. Yeah? What? You gonna call
You
me a
didn't?
kid again or something?
What?
You called me a kid. Back down in the field. I will remember that for the end of my days.
That's nice. Are you well?
I
Like,
will prove you
didn't-
otherwise.
What?
I am Odin.
Did you
I am the bride of the Aesir.
Sorry. sustain any
What?
damage since you take all
No,
those
not
things?
yet at least.
Okay.
Well, let's think they're sustained a little bit.
Just be
But,
careful not to OD there. Just knock my door.
I don't OD. Odin.
No, overdose. Be careful not to overdose there.
I don't. What's overdosing? He like looks generally confused.
When you take too much of something.
That has never
Lot of
happened to me
drugs
before.
there.
Yeah, I need these.
Okay, just make sure you don't OD, alright?
I told you already that I don't OD. I'm Odin.
That's so funny. OD for Odin. That's
And you
incredible.
don't, comma Odin. That's. I see it. Yeah. Okay.
Just be careful, alright?
Why do you care about me suddenly?
Well, I don't want my squad mates like fucking ODing in their sleep here. But overdosing.
Okay, alright, I was gonna say again, like, how am I not gonna be me in my sleep? That doesn't make sense.
What?
Because you said you don't want to meet Odin in my sleep. Like, am I supposed to dream of someone else?
Wait, you dream of yourself? I think he's just saying that while we are like.
Yeah, no, I get it. He meant the
Yeah.
overdose thing, whatever that is.
No, I got
Never
you.
happened to me before.
I get the misunderstanding.
Anyways, yeah, don't worry. This is normal for me. You don't need to worry about me. I'll be fine. It's just how I work. All right.
Fair enough.
I know it's not normal for the rest of you mortals, but I am simply built different, I guess.
Listen, with my previous line of work, I'm not supposed to judge people for what they do or what happened to them.
Fluffy, can I have a question?
Yeah.
Would like trying to figure out if it's like a normal thing for him or if he's being like full of shit, would that be like read a situation?
That would, well, you want to roll for it, right? You want to...
Yeah.
Sure, that is a read a situation.
It is just like, is he like totally like just because he has the opportunity to buy a shit ton of drugs doing it, or is it because like he actually just does that?
Well, go ahead and roll for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Fluffy, you know that, right? I think I told you already about. Yeah, okay.
You can clearly tell that Odin, based on your past experiences and so on, Odin is not buying just because he can, but because, he has a visible situation dealing with the serums.
Yeah.
What he has purchased is not just an abuse of power and so on.
Yeah.
So that's what Flower gets right away, at the very least.
I mean, as for me, medical background, obviously not. I mean, when you're like a doctor and all, you kind of reach to a point where you're not really phased or even judge people for what's up with them, their circumstances and all that.
Yeah, and of course you can.
And I also understand this isn't like cocaine or just regular drugs like that.
Yes.
Actually, juice is listed as being like straight up like an
Oh yeah, what? An opium.
Oh.
Yeah, it's basically like opium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
juice is like basically opium. Yeah, it's space opium.
It's true.
So
basically, it isn't like fucking water like meth or something.
No, I don't think he was making.
Just to have like an idea, right? The 3 stems that come like normal are a kick. Yeah, the 3 flavors of juice are a kick, which keeps a pilot awake and alert for up to 30 hours. Freeze, which keeps a pilot calm and emotionally stable, deadens fear and other strong reactions. And juice heightens senses and alertness, reduces fatigue, shortens reaction times. Juice occasionally provokes rage in some users. So
it's very varied.
Yeah, it says in here, uncontrolled use can be addictive and dangerous to health in the long term and is a problem for some pilots.
Yeah.
So like if Vaccine has had like a interaction with like other pilots, he probably would have heard like plenty of tales or even seen other pilots who just like kept taking this stuff until they got like addicted and OD'd all the time. Like,
that was my concern. That was my concern. Yeah, because I know this sort of stuff. Paramedic, I'm somewhat familiar with like combat stims and all that, and how it can become a bit abusive. So that's why I showed my concern.
Yeah.
So. I mean, I would say that.
Anyways, like, Odin's still like just holding the stack of like drugs in like the middle of the hallway.
You sure you don't need a roll for you?
Actually, that would be a pretty big help.
Alright.
I can't really do it with my foot, and he's gonna say that he's gonna see like kick up like 1 foot towards the door.
I go up and open the door for him.
Okay.
So.
As you open the door. Yes, I got it. Someone to open the door. Okay, so as you open the door, you're gonna see that like inside Odin's room, there's a bunch of like decorations, so to speak.
Oh no.
Like, how do I explain this?
You can keep it simple.
You're gonna see like
is it more Funko Pops, Odin?
No, it's not that level. You know those triangles that he was like doing all the time, like on the table, as he was like kind of like idly. Right. So as you enter the room, you're gonna notice that there's triangles everywhere again, but they're like made out of metal, wood. Some seem to be made out of bone. They're basically like probably handcrafted by Odin himself. They're like hold on by rope, onto like the ceiling and like the walls and stuff like that, like even like sort of like portraits. And they're just like all over the place, basically covering the walls in like every single direction.
Are the triangles in your room have a meaning?
Yeah, it's my symbol. It's me. It's all that I am.
Fair enough.
You're gonna notice that like on his chest, it has like the same symbol on like his suit, right?
I see.
It's like it's that thing. It's like these 3 triangles like on top of each other.
It's so funny.
Anyways, thanks. And he's gonna like try and like close the door desperately.
Before he closes, Flower will just stick like his head over. By the way, Odin,
What?
I don't think you're a kid. I just thought you were being childish before. I didn't mean any harm.
That's almost the same thing.
It's not. But good night.
Would a child do this? And then you see him like inject himself with the stims right away.
He just like grimaces and just like says nothing.
Do you close the door as you do that? I would say. Like,
I'll leave him to his devices.
Okay, so Nico, right? So as Odin, kind of hits with the stem, and the door closes. I mean, I'm sure Flower and Vax just kind of lose interest and go on with their things, like probably go to their rooms. And so on.
I just suspect it's privacy even to his devices.
Yeah. So as you inject the stem, you kind of notice that this is right away. This is not what you're used to. Like, this is a little, just a tiny bit. You feel like, because like again, you're used to taking the stem like all the time because your suit is for it. But this one hits different, and it hits different in a way.
In a good way or in a bad way?
In a good way. Like.
Okay.
I mean, like we said, stems can be kind of like opium, like juice can be kind of like opium, but this is like a different high you've never like experienced before, and since it's like new to you, I'm not sure. I mean, I would say that Odin would take a liking to it because it feels really good compared to the usual, right? I mean, I know in your character's backstory and so on, so I mean, like I would say that these stems are essentially like a reserve. And the ones you picked up are, well, they're kind of the same, and because of that, I would give you a reserve in which this stem here, I don't know how to put it on your little sheet, because I don't think there is one that kind
Take your time. You can even do it later if you want. I don't mind, like, if we like
I'm just
brainstorm
going
that
to tell
later.
you that this stem here can be used in a mission. You can bring it on a mission. It's something like you have to kind of swap out from your suit compared to your normal stems, right? And this stem here would give you like +1 accuracy to everything you do when injected. You can use it as a protocol.
Okay.
It lasts for the whole scene, just so you know. Like
Okay.
combat encounter.
I'll take it.
Not mission though, just the encounter itself.
Yeah, I get it. It's sort of like a second use of my core power almost. For the Everest.
Exactly. I mean, the core power is, the whole fast.
Yeah, it's that plus like extra movement, but it would just be the accuracy.
This
I
is
get
just
you.
accuracy. So again, this is just a limited one for purposes of gameplay. I mean, I know that you have like a shit ton of serums, but for the purposes of a reserve, gameplay-wise, it's just like a single use. Like, just single use. I mean, if you want to get more, just get it after the next downtime. So
Roger that.
I don't want you get like 50 stims right away, just saying. This is just one.
Yeah, no worries. I get you. It's like it would be like a special batch in the middle of that, all from like the stuff that he grabbed, maybe.
Yeah, it's a special batch. So I mean, it's finesse basically. So
Sure.
What was I saying? Yeah, I'll just have to put it in later at some point. There's not exactly one that is exactly like what I said, but I can just make my own later.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that's basically like for your day. And also you get 1 XP for the little chatter there at the end. So feel free to add that.
Yay!
So,
yay!
I just want to look at your ideal real quick. No, I would say that.
Would you consider that? I don't know. It's up to you.
No, that doesn't consider. I would say that does not consider.
All right.
So, okay. And with that date done, I mean, now on to who's next? Flower, 10-4, Flan Man. Who would like to go next?
Well, Kai's 10-4 has been. I'm sure he's got something typed out or thought of.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess since you're typing, Kai, you can leave it for last if you want, as you prefer.
I'm just gonna do
your choice.
something stupid.
So, would you like to go next, Flan Man?
Okay.
All right. So, Flan Man, how do you begin your day?
Well,
here.
I'm over near the analytical area of the ship in the right wing, analytics capital offices.
Yeah.
I'm still feeling steamed about the last mission and what's been going on. And as you may know, I'm a former celebrity, current celebrity. I just doing this need money. But I am quite charming, and I can really get a hold of something. So I try to understand Bridge better.
Oh, so you want to go talk up to Bridge?
No.
Or you just want to understand him? Like his.
I want to understand him. I want to know who pays him, and see if I can use my celebrity to sort of one-up him.
Sure.
I want to circumvent him, possibly blackmail him.
Wow. Okay.
So in the analytical area of the right wing here, this is more like an office space sort of deal. And well, this is more like diplomacy, like dealing with like registration documents and so on. So your idea here of getting a hold of something, which is in this case Bridge blackmail, I would say, or
well, just whatever I might find. It doesn't have to be a blackmail, but I'm not above it.
Sure. So with your attempt at using your celebrity status, you pretty much decide in this case to head up to one of the many, like, I don't know how to describe this. How do you this? I don't know. It's like those government buildings with like the many tables and so on, like the queues and whatever sort of deal, right? I don't know how to explain it.
Like a city hall?
So yeah, something like that. I would say something like that, but not like literally, right?
Okay.
So you basically just find your way around, maybe pull some tickets, wait a little bit. Just a question: are you wearing the connected uniform or not?
Connected uniform. I'm not sure.
Guy on screen. Does he look like the guy on screen without the helmet?
Let me.
In Foundry.
I'm in Foundry. I don't see any guy on screen.
What?
Like
I
Sorry. Oh wait, he was there. Sorry.
Oh.
I didn't see him.
How
I
big
see him.
is he?
What
Like
about him?
small or something? Like
No, he's black and the background's black, so it's kind of.
Oh, how zoomed in are you?
Here, I'll take a screenshot of what I see.
It follows like the size of the zoom in. It doesn't change the size. It's just that for me as well. Like when you first showed him off, he and me didn't actually appear on screen until I clicked back into Foundry.
He's so slow. Your mind is so big.
I had no issues on my end.
Okay, so no, it is. Yeah, he's. I don't know. Maybe my eyes aren't very good.
No, it's
he's
fine.
there.
He's
there.
there.
He's faceless.
I get it. I thought I could like move him around.
I will say, Flan Man has not changed his uniform. He is not trying to blend in whatsoever because he is a failed celebrity. So he thinks he can just kind of get by doing whatever he does.
Makes
worked.
sense. Yeah,
fucking BoJack Horseman over here.
So
he is BoJack. He is full BoJack.
So basically, you kind of do what you do, and you kind of get to have a seat in front of a table with like a lady dressed up more like in a more official officer way sort of deal. And well, considering the fact that the ticket you pulled was in relations to superiors, so to say, she kind of inquires you about it right away. Like you take your seat and she asks you on what exactly it is that's concerning you about superiors.
Oh no, I'm not trying to do anything here. Just understanding the rank and file as a mercenary, I'd like to know everything possible before going in. And, I've signed up for this mission, obviously, but it doesn't hurt to have any extra information if you catch my drift?
Of course, the lady doesn't, right away recognize who you are, but the fact that you bring up, those words like mercenary and mission, she immediately gets a little bit of a concern. And she also writes right away and notices the fact that, you're not really like familiar or dressed up akin to how a soldier should be, right? So she kind of right away resorts to protocol and just puts her hand forward and asks, well, may I just see your datapad, please?
My datapad? Ooh. Let me tell you, I think I might have left it in my other pants.
Do you generally actually leave it, or are you just bullshitting?
No, I don't want to give it over to her, so I'm trying to talk my way out of it.
Oh. Other pants. She kind of like looks over to the side.
No, she looks at my pants. Make her look at my pants. She notices a protrusion.
No, Meteor! Not like this! My god, who let this guy
Oh, I'm pretty famous in my part of the galaxy. Maybe I'm famous in yours too, babe.
Ah, famous. Sure. Can you just wait a moment, please? And, she starts tapping away at her computer, a little data pad and so on. And, after a while, it seems that right away, as she was typing, Interlink shows up, like pops in, and her hologram right next to you, and she actually scares the shit out of the woman who was like at the desk for a moment. Like, she jumps in her seat with a little yelp, and Interlink pops in and talks over. Oh, hello there. Sorry to intrude. I'm sure you don't mind, but could I please have a moment here with our dear soldier and companion? And the lady just kind of nods and agrees. So she, Interlink may be a hologram, but even her motions and so on kind of leads you into standing up off your seat. So as you stand up off your seat with your back turned to the office lady, Interlink just kind of speaks up to you in a bit of a quiet, hushed tone, and with her hands behind her back. Sorry, Flamin, I understand that you are, I don't want to say failure or a misstep, so to say, to your line of work, but I would just like to remind you of the anonymity around the ship, because not everyone is very well acquainted with the mission, so to speak.
I see. I'll make sure to keep this on the down low.
Of course. Is there anything specific you'd like me to help you with?
Well, this document I'm trying to procure would just maybe give me an idea about the layout of the ship, or, in case of an emergency, where I could go, maybe to, not necessarily get out of here in a quick, scenario, but maybe just some schematics.
Fine, man. You have your map in your room and in your data pad. I understand if your concern is safety, which is a concern we all should have, honestly. But isn't this a little bit beyond just looking for a map? You are in, well, I don't really want to ruin anything, but I know exactly that you have been, at the very least, trying to understand something. Is this because of your displacer?
The displacer? What? Oh, that thing? Oh, I forgot about that. No, I certainly wasn't trying to usurp the captain to maybe make him suffer for, getting rid of such a contraband from the enemy. No, I wasn't trying to do anything like that. But maybe if you knew someone above him that I could speak with and befriend, you could drop me a line there and I could get a hold of that.
No, first of all, Fat Man, I understand the situation, I understand your request, but I'll see what I could do. I know that bridge may be a little bit hard on valiant soldiers like yourself and the rest of the Restoration Squadron, but there is no need to, well, come up to random soldiers and crewmates who have the slightest idea of who you are, and of course, there's no need to mention such, profession, of course. We're just working here. I'm just working here by protocol, Flamin. I'm sure you can understand.
Of course, no, I understand. Yeah, I think I could be of help to you as well, Interlink. Yeah, I'm a pretty connected guy, despite my
No
current
way he said
financial status.
Sure. How about this? I will see what I can do in relations to your request. And how about I recommend you simply, well, as Bridge would say it, to stay out of trouble. I'm sure the rest of recreation areas are more well suited for your own purposes and needs if that's necessary.
All right, understood. I'll get on out of here.
Thank you, Flatman. As always, please don't let me have to intervene again. Bridge might be a little bit upset next time we. What are you going?
Lightman's already gone. He can't hear any of this. He's a rhino, so he's really fast and good at charging. And even though Interlink's, literally AI, can go anywhere, he's faster, runs away, doesn't hear any of it.
I'm just constantly projecting into different projectors just to continue the conversation.
He doesn't really follow you for that. I mean, she just sees you dash off. You kind of shut her down, and she is left curious and honestly confused at you as a character.
I'm just thinking every soldier in this ship is just seeing people like Odin and Flanman, and they're just thinking man, mercenaries are fucking weird.
I mean, at this point, there is a very subtle little tension here in relations to the fact that the rumors are probably gonna start spreading, especially when again, this is something that I want to focus on. Choices that you do and so on have an impact overall, so I just keep it in mind. But so Flaman, while you didn't exactly do much per se, you kind of do dash off to your rest and recreation, and at some point during the evening or so on and so forth, I would say that where you're at the table kind of drinking or chilling, how would it be exactly?
Yeah, no, he's just
chilling alone,
going over some documents he has, not really anything of importance, thinking about his life.
Sure. So as around the evening, just relaxing, one of the many rest and recreation checkpoints and so on, somebody comes up and hears up and mentions over to you, and this person, dressed up like a Connectic soldier, of course, speaks up and kind of approaches. At first, it's like a voice from behind you, but then you get hit right in the face with it. This is like a soldier that walks up without helmet and so on, and he mentions it right out and flat. Holy shit, Rocky Bone Town? Are you fucking serious right now?
No one.
Oh, in the flesh. Always happy to meet a fan. Hey there.
The soldier goes for a little handshake, right away with a big grin on his face. Do you accept the handshake?
Let me roll for handshake check.
No, you just.
Yes, I do. And it's a great handshake.
It was almost a heroic one.
Very
Holy
firm.
shit!
I don't crush his hand, but he definitely can tell that
No,
I'm a
it's
rhino.
a firm handshake. This is insane. So this
Quick question:
Takes your hand, breaks your arm.
Is this soldier revealed to me? Is he a humanoid descent, or is he some sort of animal as well?
He's
some
a
sort of
human.
alien?
He's like
Okay.
a buzz
Does he have a
cut
normal amount of
soldier.
appendages?
Buzz cut soldier, no facial
Alright.
hair, Caucasian if that matters.
It does. I am actually racist.
That's an
Okay,
important character
okay, I can
trait.
see why Rocky isn't famous anymore. He got fucking cancelled to the stratosphere.
Well, thank God this guy's white. My God.
Yeah, no, I say under my breath, aren't there any grays on this show?
So this guy, during the firm handshake, he kind of uses his other hand to put up his face, in utter disbelief that he is literally meeting Rocky Bone Town. This is definitely a fan, and As he finished up the handshake, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing on the All-Seer? I thought you were like, I don't fucking know, like a whole 50 systems away from here. What's going on here, dude? Nobody's heard from you for like literal years."
Went through a really rocky divorce.
Oh
And,
man.
Oh no.
Nice
Dude.
work.
I'm in a bone town of my own. I just owe a lot of alimony. I can't keep living the lifestyle I was.
Shit, I remember that. That shit was like on the news, but like after a while it kind of died. I thought you just kind of sorted out. Wait, is that seriously why you haven't been on the TV for like years?
Well, apparently people don't want a single rhino in this hustle and bustle 50-60 society.
Man, that's what I keep fucking saying, man. Like, all the fucking time. They should have just left you alone, man. That shit, like, I don't care what, like, fucking allegations or whatever the hell you did. I don't give a fuck about that. I think you were, like, literally the best star that I could get over here on this system. And now, man, dude, I've seen you in the fucking flesh.
That's me. I'm happy you've heard of me. My own buddies on this system seem to not recognize me. But
Dude, that's fucking
it's
insane.
reassuring.
Like, you're a little celebrity. How can nobody recognize you? Man, I'm just, dude, is there like something happening later? Like, are you like giving like a show, like a talk? What's going on here?
No, I'm researching. I was offered a small role on a space comedy, so I thought it'd be good to really immerse myself in, an authentic space situation on a ship of sorts. What do you do here? But I'm just curious. I'm researching the role, so I just wanted to, you know me, but I don't know anything about you. Let's.
No, man, that's fair. Like, I totally get you. I know you're like one hell of a fucking actor with your method acting, dude. It's insane. Honestly, damn, I don't know how to help you, man. I'm part of the gunnery. I'm the one like taking care over. Hold on, I need to like check real quick here something. I'm like the one taking over the clairvoyance back there. I mean, nothing like to shoot mad for an actor like you. I mean, I don't fucking know. I think a guy like me is not an interesting character, but dude, maybe you should like.
Don't sell yourself short, buddy. No, you're quite interesting. In fact, the role I was working for was in a gunnery. It was actually working with enemy contraband obtained more recently in the storage. Maybe you can show me around sometime. What you guys got back there?
Damn, shit, for real? Oh, alright, you know what? Alright, I'll see if I can do something, man. Alright, like, how about this? I'll talk with my, like, officials, and...
Oh no, I wouldn't want to involve them. Here, look, I got my pad here. It's my personal identification pad thing.
I mean, I can't really...
Why don't we just exchange info?
You know what? Sure, fuck yeah, man. Here. He takes away like your data pad and kind of like taps in on it here and there. There is surprisingly a messaging client on the data pad. It's like a not like a public group chat, but you can make private group chats. Think of Discord, okay? This is literally Discord right now. So you kind of like space Discord. So I mean, more like those airplanes that have like group chats on the seats and stuff like that. You can talk with people on the plane. So he just kind of puts in his details, and then after that he just kind of gives like a little pat on the arm, and he speaks out. All right, man. Look, this is fucking awesome. This is probably like the best day of my life. Look, if you need anything, just fucking call me. Just send me a message or something. I'll see what I can do, man. Anything for your space roll. Thanks, man. I need to get going now. Anyway, I have.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Hey,
checks.
man. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Bradford.
Bradford. I won't forget it.
Alright, hell yeah, I won't forget yours forever, man. And then he, gives like a little pointing finger, then he just kind of walks away now. So, this little chatter here, which kind of leads into the conclusion of your day. You go up 1 XP, by the way, on your little character sheet on the bonds, just so you know.
Sure.
And this also, it is just only a simple little reserve here, and this is just, again, this would count more as like a communication sort of deal, right? This is It's not something physical, but you get the reserve of, at the very least, being able to call up on Bradford himself. So I'll have to handle on your reserve list later that this is just like Bradford. I'm just gonna write it as Bradford, all right?
Yeah, sure. Just write the note Bradford, and then next week or 2 weeks from now, we won't know what that means. It'll be fine.
No, definitely not.
No, I'm kidding. I'll remember. Don't worry, I'll remember. It's funny.
You better fucking remember him.
I can't
I'll never
believe they
forget
had
you.
Black
The
Man.
next day.
they
Who
had-
the fuck is Bradford?
I still can't believe Flatman got cancelled for blackfacing. I mean, I know it was a different time and all that, but yeah.
can perfectly
I thought we
believe
were
it.
past it. I thought it was funny again. I laughed.
I love that.
So that
Classic
kind of
Flamin.
basically concludes your day,
I love
Flan
Sure.
Man. I'm assuming just kind of go back to your room or don't really
Yeah.
talk with anybody at that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
As you choose. So Flan Man done. 1 XP for him, and that little Bradford reserve. Who goes next? Panther, Flower, or Snap? What would it be? Who wants to go next? Well, I'm assuming Kai is probably last, of course, but... So tell me, Flower or Nap?
Nam is welcome to go.
Sure, yeah.
Alright, Nap, how do you start off your day?
Okay, well, I went and got my uniform, which I don't think I'll even be really using.
Okay.
But first off, I went to the rooms, put on the uniform,
Okay.
cart, and then I'm going to just really kind of avoid everyone. I'm just gonna find my own way throughout the ship and maybe try and find a quiet little corner with maybe like a window outside to space so I can get a nice view while I tinker with, or at least kind of really review my new talent skills. Like,
Sure,
I've
right.
just kind of figured out how to do this new thing, and so I'm gonna review on my tablet how my lock-on effect has changed.
Of course. Sure.
So I'm just gonna spend the day kind of up there reviewing my abilities through
Sure. Yeah, no,
fodder
I get
and
you.
Opticon,
So,
pretty
considering the fact that the debrief has informed you, everyone, of the fact that your new side objective for the mission is to acquire data and build up a database of what you come across, this kind of really sparks within you, like this idea that you feel like your role is being fulfilled, essentially, right? This is it's like you were born for it, right? So, in a little quiet spot, out the window, you see nothing but space. Just the sky without the planet, I'm sorry. So, as you ponder think over on your new abilities and your
Are there pretty stars?
I mean, they're shiny stars, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, these are shiny stars. You see stars every day, my friend. This is not exactly a very unique sight, so to say. So, even to your lonesome as you usually are, you kind of figure out and kind of have like a sense of duty of sorts, this is basically my new task here, to keep my companions informed and to make sure that they can, at the very least, get informed and get the data that they need to hold through the missions. So let me just here. Hold on. I need to scroll down. Sorry, I'm just getting here something. Okay. So, with that being said, that little moment of thought has given you this keen thought and processing insight to, as a reserve, you can think ahead of yourself and bring along your own more focused personal journal and notes to when you scan, rather than it being a quick action. You can have it so that your scan is, if it's the first thing that you do in your turn, it is a free action, right? So this is something you can bring, like, this is more like a state of mind sort of deal. You kind of focus up, like you close your eyes before going to a mission and you kind of focus on the idea that, yes, I am the guy who's going to scan and get info and so on, sort of deal.
And boy.
So that means that we can sort it out later, but essentially this reserve means so that if you, before you do literally anything in a turn, like literally anything, before you move, before you core power or anything, if you scan, it is a free action. And I just want to remind that scanning needs to be within line of sight and sensor range. So that's your reserve. You can bring it if you want, but essentially it's just like a little state of mind for you as your character.
Cool.
So, okay. So what else for the rest of the day? I mean, what exactly would you see Nap doing? Considering that he just kind of spent like a few good hours just kind of meditating and off to his lonesome, staring off into stars, or would he actually just spend the rest of his entire day doing that?
He probably won't spend the entire time up there. He would probably climb down and like kind of people watch, probably keep an eye on like his new team members, trying to figure out like if there's any kind of secret motives behind them. Not exactly like stalking or spying, but just kind of people watching, seeing how they are just in like this everyday atmosphere.
Sure. Well, in that case, around the evening, you actually do get a chance to catch a glimpse of Odin as he walks away with his little bag full of goodies and so on. You can kind of, you know, you're off in the distance, right? Like at the very least different floors sort of deal. So you can kind of see him down there. But this doesn't exactly...
Can I make out the hair dye?
Sure, you can make out the fact that he has boxes of hair dye. Well, not boxes, but just a box of hair dye.
Very important.
Probably.
Okay.
He has a box of hair dye, and again, this is only just something you noticed on him itself, but you do notice the fact that several soldiers kind of like been eyeing as Odin walks past them, you know. You notice the fact that Odin is just bringing attention to himself.
Okay.
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
Sense it.
So you don't exactly get much of an idea of Odin as more of a into his little backstory or background, or you know, as a character. You just kind of understand right away that he, as a person, is very much, well, as you already saw in combat, very uncaring of the things around him, at least. That's what you get as an idea, of course. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed, just so you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would say that, I mean, you don't, after that, maybe hold off on other people you come across.
Odin sneezes, he senses someone talking about him.
No, not like this. There's no way, man. There's no way. So, I would definitely say that you may cash around somebody else in the middle of your little peeking and investigation of the squad mates you try to track of. So, I would say that for the rest of your day, after you do that, I mean, you probably, after doing that, you go back to your room, right, without talking with anyone. Do you want to come across somebody? Or just you go straight to your room after trying to get like a peep of your squad mates?
I think it'd be going back to the room and rifling through my things, making sure everything is still there and up to snuff.
Sure, well, that's fine. That again, that is just something you just do, and that's how you kind of conclude your day, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So, Flower, please.
Hello.
Before coming across, you know, vaccine at the end of your day, what did you do before getting to that?
I think one of the first things Flower did after getting like the uniform is actually just going over.
No, nothing. Go on.
Is just going over to the medical area, just have like his bullet wound checked.
Of course. Well, you go with uniform, correct? Like this is something you do. Okay. So, well, going off with uniform across the hallways, you don't. Basically, everybody else kind of got looks for when they weren't in uniform because they looked out of place. But for you, you barely get a few looks, but people look at you because of the fact that your size as a person.
Yeah.
You also notice yourself that here among the ship and hallways and so on, there's not very much people of your stature. So, I mean, maybe not really, just not something that really pitches your eye. So, again, it's medical. You may skim past over to just kind of get a glimpse of Odin, like his recognizable cape, like you would not miss the sight anywhere.
Yeah.
And you move on over to getting your wound patched up. This is more like a nurse office sort of deal. You don't have to really go through the main lobby and so on. Again, everything as clean as it is. It smells very sterile as you enter it. And, well, the person at the front just notices right away your height, right? And the soldier speaks up towards you, which is just a regular soldier, more dressed akin to Lens that you can recognize. And the person spoke up, "Oh, hello, what can I do for you?"
Hi. I had a deployment where I was shot. I did get patched up, but I just wanted to get an extra check on and make sure there's nothing infected or anything.
Oh, of course. No problem at all. Please, if you may. And then after that, a little synthetic machine comes over. Kind of like a hoverball, right? Like on the ground. The design itself is akin to the soldiers in terms of like the gas mask and so on. But, everything else is more like curved around. This is not like akin to a human, but it has like the silhouette and shape of one, right?
Yeah.
So this robot here just comes along and puts like its visor kind of lights up and scans you from top to bottom in a very quick fashion. And again, the person at this doesn't really explain anything because again, they are considering the fact that you are a common soldier around here. So the robot here just kind of like grips your arm by the forearm and just kind of starts dragging you away, like in a gentle manner, of course.
He's just gonna follow. Like, this is clearly too advanced for anything he's been like experiencing, so he's just like, well, I guess this is what I'm gonna do.
Of course. So to make things very much simple, the robot here just kind of drags you over to one of the many beds and posts and so on, kind of across a few hallways, some doctors you see here and there. You can notice the fact that this is quite advanced compared to where you've been last before, and things are very much organized away. The security personnel already, like some guards here and there, it seems that they're not here for like actual invasions or threats, but more probably akin to, one could assume, more troubled patients and so on sort of deal, right?
Yeah.
This is just like a general idea of the area. So the robot just kind of brings you to a room, and this room is very much clean and empty. It has a singular bed, akin to what you see in a hospital, right? It has like a little table, and it has like on the wall like a machinery with many gadgets on it that you really cannot wrap your head around. But the robot just kind of plugs itself into it, and the machinery stirs into awakening, and from the ceiling comes like a circular plate, and from above it comes out many appendages of sort. The synthetic voice speaks out. Not synthetic, but you can tell that it's fake, and like a light lights up on the center of the room. So, and this voice just speaks out. "Dear soldier, please step into the middle of the room to begin processing your treatment."
He looks so baffled, but then just kind of does it. He's like, okay, I guess.
So, again, as you step into the center, the appendages come down, like 3 of them. Your wound was where exactly? On your...
I think it was like the shoulder or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't actually remember.
It was on the shoulder. I remember now. It was on the shoulder. So, 2 appendages... Sorry. 2 appendages grip you by the shoulder, one at the top and one like are on the other side of like your side, and the third one just grips your hand and gently stretches out forward. After that, I'm assuming Flower is very much still and so on. Yeah, so the fourth pen just comes on down, and this one just has like a form of, you know, like akin to, I mean, I would say like a line on it, like a straight line on it, and this line kind of presses up onto your clothed like shoulder on the area, and from there you kind of feel like a burning sensation for a moment, and then it just kind of like scrubs it up and down around the area where the wound entered. And again, this burning sensation intensifies. I mean, but you, as you are very much unfazed a little bit from it. So I mean, maybe like a little cringe, a little sting, and so on. But
yeah,
this is literally less than 2 seconds, and after that, you feel like that burning sensation go away before the machine speaks out again. Treatment completed. Please have a very safe and nice day. And after that, the appendage will let you go before it pulls back up. And
okay.
if you do care to notice, or well, if you do, you can what is it? You can kind of like pull your sleeve over or so on of your uniform if you want.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
by doing so, you notice that your wound, which was, you know, stemmed and treated, patched up, the patch itself seemingly burned off, and the wound itself just completely gone. It was effectively scarred right away, and you can see the little outlines of where the bullet wound entered and exited, like this. It's the skims of the wound, right? Like, it was basically cauterized right away, and you don't really feel that discomfort anymore. So,
Okay.
what you went through is, quite frankly, a little bit out of your paycheck, and you are honestly, I mean, I would, like you said, baffled that such technology
definitely
could pull this off.
He's just kind of standing there for a moment, like just like figuring out what the fuck just happened. Like, oh.
So, I mean, in that moment where you're just like, you know, kind of like processing what happens, you kind of get in trouble by a synthetic voice speaking out to you again, informing you to vacate the spot after the treatment. You don't get like a robot anymore. The robot that's hooked to the machine stays there, but after that, the door just remains open, and they kind of leave you to assume that you just know your way back, which I'm sure you can figure it out if you want, or just sure. Okay, so stepping out of the hospital, or well, not a hospital, like out of the treatment room and so on. Again, you still catch a glimpse of Odin. Right away, I'll go over to the drugstore.
Damn, I'm everywhere.
They're not everywhere. I mean, this is all happening in the middle of the day still. Like, this is something that happened less than a minute or so. So, you're not going anywhere that quickly. But being treated over at the hospital, it does leave you with a little bit of sense of awe, and if anything, curiosity over the fact that how some things like here work like that. So, I mean, if you prefer, I mean, I'm not sure. I think the GM can't say this, or I mean, if you want, you could roll a skill trigger to try and figure out any branding or anything that you might want to investigate further on in regards to the technology of the sanitized area of the ship. If you want, of course. I mean, I think it's always if you want to. Like, you declare it first before I do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's more like, I would assume he's more just like befuddled, and then like at some point maybe later, like another day, he'll like ask about it, but like right now he's just kind of like, what just happened?
Sure, yeah, no. I mean, I guess I would say that this is like reserve you can put on to keep track of your experience. You could, I mean, I think it's more like a reserve around connected medical technology, I would say. I'm not sure exactly how this stuff works when it comes to reserves that are literally just like knowledge. Like, I don't think this is something you can just bring over.
I'll just put it in my notes.
Yeah, just put it in your notes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, some of the reserves are like very vague in like how do you even use them? Like
some reserves are literally just details of a place, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of
there's some that are like, oh, orbital drop, the ability to start the mission by dropping from orbit into heavily fortified or hard to reach location. So basically, you ignore like the deployment zone and you deploy whatever you want.
yeah, it's very vague on how reserves work, and I know it does say the fact that you have to choose a reserve for a mission, or I don't know, like choose what you want to bring in a mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's really up to you exactly. So your little hospital adventure is kind of wrapped up, but what exactly would you like to do before reaching over to evening/night?
I think he would, in R&R, figure out if there's like a fitness area.
No, that makes sense. It's not a ridiculous request, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, around the same left wing of the ship, the rest and recreation area, you can kind of come to understand that there is indeed like around the barracks or so of the many soldiers, there is like a training area of sorts. You can.
Yeah.
I'm assuming since, I don't know, you didn't bring like a gym bag or anything like that, you can kind of opt to go in yourself and just kind of picked up from like there's available uniforms for gym in case you don't have any, right? Like to give out. But
yeah, okay.
There might be an issue of finding one for your size.
He'd probably do that, trying to figure out first if there's something for his size, and then if he can, then like work out for a bit, trying to like make sure his shoulder's fine.
Sure. In that case, well, how about you roll for it if you want?
What do I roll?
How about just a simple? I mean, I don't think any of your triggers are.
No.
How about you just roll a 1d20 just to decide on this?
Hiya.
I think it's more fun.
That's a 16.
Okay. You do find something for your size, and by finding something of your size, you kind of notice right away that the gym is a little bit empty anyway. So there is not much issue here, and at the very least, working out under, not under, more like with the strained equipment that you have, right? So
yeah,
you kind of work out your shoulder. You notice right away that it literally feels perfectly fine. It's almost like you never got shot, type of deal. And well, this may leave you more befuddled, but still, you're just working out, so you focus your mind on that.
Yeah.
And of course, after working out, you just kind of wrap up your day here. There's like the showers and so on. The clothes just kind of swap from between and so on. Whatsoever. And I would assume that about now you would go back to your room, or is there still something actually you want to do before heading back?
No, I think that was like what he would do for that day, like kind of like familiarizing himself with the area.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll wrap it up. And then you have your little nighttime, like almost night, just your little talk with Vaccine and Odin eventually, and that kind of wraps up your day for there. And
I'll quickly go to the bathroom.
Sure. And to continue, 10-4, tell me. It's your turn now.
Okay.
Tell me, what loveliness do you do? I'll make sure I got the right for it. Is the army for mag weapons or is it engineering? Armory is for both mag weapons and soldier weaponry, but engineering is more focused explicitly on mechs and other vehicular operations. Okay. So, are you putting on? Oh, yeah, that's fair. Thank you, Kai. That's actually the benefit of typing, because you already know what to do. Oh. Sure. So, all right. So, as you enter the armory and make your request, your accusation, without the connected uniform, your I would say your soldier getup is like all black or so, like your little picture sort of deal, or is it like more specific color? Like if it's blue, basically, I'm asking. Oh, great. Okay. So, doing that, you, the soldier that kind of, the armory is more akin to like, how a gun store has like a guy at the counter and, like they have like people who sort out the storage and what to give out and so on. The guy there eyes you up and down, does take notice of the fact that you're not wearing the connected uniform, and the soldier here, upon hearing your request, just kind of asks first for your authorization and ranking. In this moment, as with your authorization and ranking, that can also mean like, like your data pad, or just say it flat out loud, whatever you prefer. Oh my god, BDR. You're ridiculous. I'm doing things with Kai, so please excuse the silence.
I'm reading.
I'm just saying.
I just saw that.
It's fair, Kai. Thank you. So with the data pad handed over, the soldier just kind of like does the little connect thing, and again, him as he is, he doesn't exactly have a surprised look, but he just kind of accepts it, doesn't mention anything, and he points over to the gun range over there, and he questions you about what exactly you're looking for. He mentions that here in the armory there's just about anything you could use, and he also suggests that for you, considering of your stature and so on, if the shotgun is what you're interested in, he does point over to the correct section as needed. So I can do this. Of course. So, well, yeah, I'm assuming you just kind of state that in a general way. I mean, no, it's fine. You can say it as you prefer. Whatever. I mean, you can keep things vague and generalized because you don't have to go into super extreme detail here. So, with that being said, the soldier just kind of motions over his head, waves around his hand, and then he just gives you points towards the right directions here to what you want. He mentions over to the section. He mentions to the various brands that they have available, brands that you recognize, brands that you've never heard of, but essentially you kind of get what you want, essentially. Like, you are getting what you want, which is exactly just, shotguns and so on. Also, I'm assuming this is like for what? For the mech, or for you as a soldier? As a pilot, I mean. The mech. Oh, okay. So yeah, he does. Okay. So the whole topic was around that, yes. You have the full authorization to move all over to the section that has, like, at the very least, all the selection of weaponry disposed and available for you. Also, again, this part here is more like type what exactly you're looking for and what you want. You can just tell me straight up what type of reserve you want as well. That's also completely valid to say to me. Who's dragging along? Oh, it's Yusuke. Cool. Yeah, sure. No, that's fair. I mean, that's like your license, remember? I mean, I think it's completely fair. I guess you can roleplay it out, flavor it that your license acquisition is more of you just kind of looking over to the armor and getting what you want. So that's fair too, if you prefer that way. Yeah, no, that's fair. No, really, I understand. The way you can acquire a license is completely up to you people, how you do it, like how you flavor it, because, I mean, one thing is the license being in your room, but another thing is just using up around the ship to acquire the stuff you want, because in the end, a license can be anything. It's not just like a license, but it can just literally just be the stuff you get from it, and you get from another place. But, yeah. Picking out over the deck sweeper shotgun that you recognize and you know, come to understand this is exactly what you want. This is kind of like a standard procedure. You kind of tap away buttons. This is stuff you can understand. The UI and the experience is straightforward. It's kind of like similar to how you would purchase a weapon, basically. It's a familiar feeling. Even if you haven't exactly experienced it, much of it, this is exactly what you would kind of be familiar with. So this is all proceeded and acquainted. It is confirmed that it will be given to your garage to deal with your mech. There's a deduction of credits as well, but this is the confirmed purchase on the fact that yes, you have acquired this weapon for your mech.
Oh yeah. So I guess as well for Odin, the spear thing would be something that I do like tomorrow in universe,
room,
I guess.
In your room, there's like there's computer terminals for dealing with license and whatever other personal requirements that you prefer. But in this case, this is more flavorful in the way that instead of opting for the license program directly, he's being tend for being more direct in acquiring what he desires. So, and he gets what he wants. What? Sure. Over at engineering, if you may tell me, after you go over to engineering, well, you know, for the finishing up your order and so on. At engineering, you kind of do, like, this is the place where you kind of start getting a few more looks as you step in. And again, engineering is, hold on, let me pull it up. On the left wing, yeah, on the left wing, sure. It's like, again, it's more, this area is more tasked for supply and refueling, but also developing and building projects for production. The crew there is very much appearance professional and so on, and the assembly is automated. But it is a vast, huge area that makes up for what seems to be the main production of various vehicles and mechs and so on and so forth. What would you like to do in the engineering area? Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm always assuming that you're writing something down. I'm just saying. I like to talk, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's fine. God, I love this music. Okay. Okay.
Music to slowly float through space too.
So, sure, with the way how you look forward to better add on to your shield, this basically leads into you kind of peeking over around. No, it's not. There's nothing unflavorful here. This is literally what the point of downtime is for, to say what you want to get as a character so you can use in the mission afterwards. So...
Don't worry about it, Kai.
yeah, it's fine. So, what you go looking for, you as a soldier as you are, even if you're extremely direct, I would say that this is something that requires a bit of concentration and as well as kind of like skimming about. Could you kindly just roll a 1d20 to sort out what exactly you get? Jesus Christ, man. Well, again, it's not horrible. This is not like D&D. The reserve that you end up finding here for your mech in terms of durability ends up being just like what it seems to be more like a prototype sort of deal, type of shield, but this is not like a physical, literal shield, and it's probably the best thing you can find over here. But this is a reserve that basically adds a 5 overshield to the start of the mission, and while this overshield is active, everybody has +1 difficulty in tech attacks against you. And basically, just to make it clear, overshield is like +5 health. It's like fucking overheal in TF2. You get hit, you lose it, and that's it. It's gone. Cash. I'm pretty sure that's how it is, right?
And what I'd imagine it's be.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I haven't really used overshield ever. So, yeah, this is more like a little plate you can insert into whatever. This is something you just kind of take, like with your own hands, so you'll be spending your time rest of the day carrying it around. But that kind of basically solves up your time as a soldier, basically getting what you want, of course. So I'm just gonna add that to your reserve because I'm pretty sure there's no reserve. I can't do that, but later I'll... hold on, where is it? That's not it. I'll later have to write it down on your reserves because I can make a custom one. So I'll just have it on my notes here so I can do it after the session we're done. And that is basically like the whole day, right? So the way I structured this is so that, again, it's 2 days, right? And we're kind of like a little bit over the usual time for our session, but so I can kind of start wrapping things up. I'm sorry if you have places to be, I guess. I don't know if you don't mind. If there's
I'm
like
vibing.
Okay, so again, this thing's happening. This is 2 days. That's fine. That's fair. So for that time, again, that whole day happens. Everybody just kind of like winds down and so on. To those who, everybody here has access to their licenses in their rooms. Like, if you do it like out of curiosity or more like, you know, enthusiasm because of the fact that you have been paid off for the successful mission, the amount of credits is noticeably large. There's no need to give numbers. This is basically you're getting paid a little bit more than you usually pay for as a mercenary, right? So, and beyond that, the access to the license program. So all of you, this is the part where you all kind of like get your license and then level up and so on. So that's kind of how the day wraps up. You make your choices and so on. It's all like confirmed. And on to the next day. This is more like an abridged version of the day because what really mattered was the first day to wrap up all actions and so on. But just to summarize and to do like a quick little ask, for the next day, what exactly do each one of you do? Like a quick little brief on what your character does. In a sentence, you could say, like summarize in a sentence what you want to do and what you want to get.
Golden would look over the new license that he got for his mech, and he would like go fiddle with the oversee the installation of it
Of course.
onto Sleipnir, basically.
Sure. And Flower, what did you do over the next day?
Sort of just making an familiarizing and making a hopefully nice impression on the people who seem to be like in closest proximity to like our lines of work.
Sure. Of
So
course.
yeah.
Okay. And you, Vaccine?
That license stuff, I go and look at that over, and then go over and get the whole fit out.
Okay. And Nap?
Probably go, more watching the other teammates and maybe go visit Lens.
Okay. Alright. And about you, Flan Man?
To make sure, so this is the next day.
This
You're
is the
asking
next
what we
day.
do.
And just like summarize in a
next day.
sentence or two what you do.
I
visit
was
my
gonna say
team-
we're coming up to like 20 past 9 here.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
this was already planned anyway.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, I hit up, I contact Randolph, Bradford,
Already forget
and I forget his name, but it's okay because he's so enamored with me. It's fine. And I also give our crewmates all extra rations because I have extra rations as a
I don't
just
think
to be
thank
cool.
you.
there's
There you
some
go.
Wow,
people
food.
accepted
Cast
Way
extra
a
rations.
surplus.
and everything.
Working on this is only work.
it. So like people have like a huge fucking cafeteria to take and so on, whatever. And
Yeah, well, I
10-4.
special goods from what
10-4. What do you do further? Yeah, alright. Okay. So this is kind of what you do over the next day. Spending again, first day you spend kind of more busy, but the second day is more winding down, and after spending like a day more familiarized with the ship, doing your own things, right? But in terms of here, Nap, since you already mentioned it right away, which is so kind of you, really, because I was already gonna bring it up. But once you go to visit Lens around the analytic area, well, not analytic area, but more like the around the area, you know, like where you all are, right, like the middle and under. Since you're going to go visit Lens, what exactly do you want to talk with Lens about? Like his office is very much private. Like it has like it's a room itself, and stepping in, you notice that it's very much adorned with many cabinets and documents, but also just all the sci-fi fancy stuff that you're accustomed to.
Well, when he introduced himself, it was mainly to concern with data, and since that's mainly where I'm going to be specializing alongside sniping, it seemed appropriate that I would get to know how the system would work and if he has any tips or tricks for the
Sure.
way that information can be collected.
Sure. So Lens does take notice of you. He does, you know, you kind of introduce yourself, come to understand you with your presentation of data and analyzing and so on. And well, in the middle of like him explaining over the fact that the database that needs to be built up and needs like combat in combat experience and like first-hand vision and so on, he kind of retorts over to something else afterwards. And you know, the office is just the both of you alone, right? So
No way. Let's go.
you're both alone, right? So but Lance just kind of like presses like a few buttons on his ship, on his like desk and so on. And then he kind of like mentions over to you after pressing those buttons. Nap, I'm sorry to like, I know this is a little bit out of nowhere, but I was only just a little bit curious. But
Fluffy's voice glitching for anyone else?
What?
I'm
Am I
getting a
dying?
little robot.
No,
Nah.
I think it's just you.
Skype.
Jeez,
Yeah,
I have
good for
3 bars. Why?
No! Skype, are you hearing me fine now?
I can hear you fine
Yes.
now. Try again.
Okay, so I was just saying.
I'm gonna roll a bajillion dice.
Oh, poor guy! So, Lance just kind of directs to you, and he just kind of asks you, so, Nap, I just want to, just a little bit curious, but how much do you really know about the separation?
I have heard just kind of tales of certain missions that have gone out. I haven't really been more of a mercenary role on like smaller affairs. This is really the first time I've been with something as large as the Connected, and it's really just been a smaller hiring process for me, so I haven't really experienced this enemy before.
Yeah, sure, right. I kind of looked over to your files and, all of you're like, you're straight up from not even here. You're other systems. Well,
Yeah,
nothing.
I'm far off. I
Yeah.
don't know this section.
Yeah, that's kind of, no, that's fair. I'm not really one to judge when hiring mercenaries. Honestly, when they kind of brought over the whole operation, I was honestly, like, I don't want to say flabbergasted, but I was just kind of surprised, So, I mean, I'm just kind of like, I just really want to talk to you about something with you, or any of you, really. Look, I kind of just went ahead here and turned off the recorders of the room, by the way, so I don't know.
Oh.
So this is not.
Lane's in.
No way. So Lance, he looks again quite a little bit visibly nervous for even mentioning this, but he seems to muster up the courage after stepping in and going as far as to disabling the recorders of the room, which it's kind of normal for everyone to have a recorder. But he speaks up after kind of swallowing up his his nerves and anxiousness. This is something I really wanted you to at least talk to you or any of your mercenaries, really. I mean, this is kind of like a little bit.
I'm watching him with my spot +4 eyes.
I'm sure Nap is very much just kind of silent and just staring off with his little fucking deadpan stare or whatever, right?
Yes.
But again, Lance is a little bit nervous. He's not nerved out because of you, but there's something bothering him. But again, he speaks up. Look,
If there's something you need to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well worry this far in. So I feel like the data you people pulled from there, I was kind of looking over to it as, others were like encrypting it, so all this is kind of, my job, right? But this is something that I feel like, I don't even know if you people are ready for it, or I feel like you should know more.
Go on.
The plan, right? This is like all about a plan that the separation has, but I think what you people have been doing, like, they've been way jumpier than normal. I mean, of course, you probably don't know, right? But we've been already dealing with these guys for like a few years now, right? So to get something like this is almost what they wanted, basically. And I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like their plans here involve one of the giant asteroid destroyers. Wait, how much do you know of it? Probably nothing, I'm sure, right?
Just staring.
Oh, okay. He just kind of like rolls his eyes a bit, kind of rubs the back of his neck. Obviously more tense the fact that you're not even saying anything. Well, this was built way back then, I was still a kid, but this thing here, and Ermos, pretty much saved a whole lot of planets. Holy shit, man!
Jesus.
Take it easy. What do you want to spa? He's just throwing just because.
I'm just looking at him. Wasn't for anything.
I went to spot his face.
Just looking through a microscope. And, well, like I was saying, like, this thing pretty much saved a whole lot of planets. Just destroys asteroids and bam. That was it. Hasn't gotten much use for years now, but the data you Mercs brought back has me worried.
Are you seeing activity on that abandoned asteroid?
There's no abandoned asteroid, Escape. It's not like abandoned. It's like he's just talking about this Ermos. Ermos is a different planet. It's not Seodon. Seodon is the abandoned place. Ermos is more of an active place. We're talking here. I mean, of course, you don't know much, but still, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know. So he continues
Yeah.
on with you just kind of saying, yeah, and nodding. He started to a little bit regret mentioning this to you. Is, you know, stuff like that based on how you're responding. But he speaks up. Well, I mean, I'm just worried, you know. I'm worried that they're gonna use it, and not on asteroids. Mimi.
Is Mimi okay?
No. Psst, Mimi. Thanks. Hold on, let me get my cat out. She wants to leave. People just keep opening the door to my room.
It's a cat on this spaceship.
Lens just has a cat.
No, he doesn't.
Lens has a cat?
No. So he was saying, worry not on asteroids. But I'm just saying that I don't think Bridge would even tell you about this. I don't know whatever debriefing they have ready, or, you know, by the way, I'm just gonna tell you the report they have is for tomorrow, just so you know. But they're not even gonna like tell you about this whole thing. Like, I don't even get why. Like, why aren't they gonna tell you about the fact that the Separation might use this asteroid destroyer? Like, you would expect this to be like a whole lot more serious for the Connected, like, you know, use an army and stuff, but they just rather use mercenaries? Yeah. I know you're just a bunch of mercs, but I don't think I want to see that thing used on a planet. Separation must be out of their minds for this one, honestly. You know, will you just kind of stare again? Keep staring.
Processing the information, not like real intimidation stuff, but like just kind of going along with them.
Sure. I mean, honestly, man, I can't really argue with Bridge or whatever the hell the Connected want to do with this, but I just really wanted you. I haven't really kept an eye on you. Also, I don't even know if you're really right for the job. No offense, honestly. I know you're mercs and so on, but just wanted you to keep this in mind. I mean, the fact that you're still here means you did well on the mission, and that's what really counts. But, you know, best of luck tomorrow, and you didn't hear this from me, right? The Connected are still a little bit iffy about the squadron, and they really don't want to tell you shit. I don't really care.
At the very least, I can appreciate you helping, or telling me, at the very least.
Yeah, man, you know, I mean, I don't really care when there's my system at stake here, so, you know, keep this to yourself. Just, I don't know, just don't tell anybody that I told you this, right? Bridge will probably have my head on a stick for this one. But I just feel like it was necessary. It feels like my right to at least tell you that you guys should probably be taking this one a little bit more serious if they're not even going to tell you about it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Lens.
Hey, no problem. Is it Nap? I think it's Nap, right?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, man. Well, thanks for coming over. Just keep it in mind. Just, you know, I won't throw you under a bus if that's what you're worried about. I'm not really that kind of guy. So, really just, thanks for hearing me out. I'm gonna turn on the recorders now, so you just kind of wrap it up and just act normal, I guess, you know?
Yeah,
So-
don't worry about that information. If you help me, I'll help you. So, don't worry about it.
Yeah, so basically Lance turns it back on, and that kind of like wraps up things, you know? This is a conversation that basically span another few minutes. And, you know, you kind of have this, you know, this info here that you can later share over with your companions as you fit when it comes to the time where you're all together again and so on. So,
Yay! Woohoo!
essentially, that day kind of goes through, gets all wrapped up, and I'm pretty sure all of you have acquired reserves in one way or another on how to go out and about, I would say. I think everybody got reserves, right? I just want to come to understand, like, I'm not missing anybody. Okay.
I believe so.
I got one.
Okay. And, well, like I said, this thing happens over the course of 2 days, and considering that day's over, well, pretty much next time will be the briefing and so forth on to the next mission. So, again, everybody got the little XP when they got it. Don't worry too much about not getting XP. By the way, this system here is not exactly linear like the licensing, because again, there'll be a lot of moments where you can get XP. So don't feel bad, I hope.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can get 1
Right.
XP, sometimes you can get 2 XP, so on.
Not a
and so
single
forth.
XP escapes me.
I don't get any either.
It's
Hey,
fucked up because I literally I get
from mine ideals.
Yeah, my ideals are like you get XP if people find out about your fucked up past, but you can't like tell them directly. They have to like find out by themselves, if that makes
An
sense.
ideal is just something you guys have to fulfill in a
Yeah.
scene, you know, like
It's
the
more
downtime.
like guidelines on how you should play your character, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you get it, BDR, that did not count as unique stuff. Getting told off for being an asshole is not being unique stuff.
I mean,
Well, I
it's
haven't had it
unique for a
happen
celebrity to
yet.
be shouted at and by a hologram lady.
You should be glad that none
Yeah.
of you got stressed
Is
out
watching
for
Odin not a
fucking
unique
up
sight?
early, at the very
Oh,
least.
you stress me. You stress me. I'll roll. I'll get a 20. I'll
No.
disengage. I'll get a hold of that situation. I'll assault it. I'll survive.
I then want to like, I mean, well, you get XP basically from anything, right? I know you get XP from your bond for your minor ideal and so on, but XP can also just be given out for, you know, just for being from roleplay. You know, I've been recommended that. Again, I've been recommended that you just get XP for rewarding players for doing good roleplay. That's all that matters. If you're like doing good
Do
roleplay,
I get an XP for kissing Lens on the mouth in
yeah,
private?
didn't you already get XP? I thought you already did.
No, I didn't get any XP yet.
Okay, you can get one.
I'll give him my XP if I can see him kissing him on the mouth.
Sorry, the recorders were off, man.
Oh,
Yes.
by the way, do we get to wait? Oh no, never mind. This is a veteran power. Never mind.
What the hell? You better not. That thing is. You better not use your fucking veteran power. You still need like 4
On
or
our first-
something.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Still, either way. Although that's
Okay.
said and done, that kind of wraps up for today's session. And next time will be, you know, next mission. You can play around with your funny new things and so forth.
Let's go.
And you can have a wonderful, lovely time.
You just know he's gonna hit us with like a big hammer next time.
Yeah.
Like a big
Like
ass.
says that. A lovely time.
Comical
Sure,
mag-
man.
He's just gonna send us to the fucking meat grinder.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do a total part, a TKO or whatever it is, man. All I'm doing is just, you know, I'm gonna fucking, what's it called? What is it? I'm gonna fucking, you know.
You're gonna
let-
fight fire with fire?
You gonna fucking kill us? Is that what you're gonna do?
Look, man. Oh my god!
Why is it?
That-
Whoa!
it's the AOE that Fluffy's hitting us.
Oh my
So-
god!
True.
But please, again, I hope to
The
God you
Earthshaker.
noted down the XP you gained when I told you to note it down.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
I put it.
one.
Okay, and remember,
Wait,
and
B
remember,
though.
remember
I
to
have
s-
8 stress.
No, you don't. You should not be stressed
I
out.
have 19 stress.
Holy shit, man. I mean, I'm looking
I have
forward.
19 stress. I immediately
Yeah,
have a heart
I'm
attack.
smart thinking.
I'm looking forward to seeing you all start getting burdens from royally fucking up things narratively. That's gonna be fun.
I can't wait to experience the horrors.
I will not fuck up ever. Look at Odin. When does he ever fuck
Cthulhu
up?
to be
He does not
introduced
fuck
as a
up.
playable character.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous
Yeah.
now. But
When is Lens gonna get a cat?
sync up. I'll add your reserves like the stim and breath.
Speaking of
Warden.
cat, if you haven't yet, you should play the video I posted in Lancer memes.
That's the oh my god.
That's how I felt.
That's literally my fucking cat all the time. Well, that's it for the session. Thank you for sticking around. I hope downtime is a process
That
you
was
can
good.
come to grow accustomed to, of course.
A lot of
I
fun.
like
I
it.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind
I
of.
don't want to
sweet.
make 18 clocks to keep track of.
Yeah.
Good thing you
Add
can.
more clocks.
if you want to make your clocks and keep track of them and so on, you get to it. Just tell me what project you want to start, and then just stick to it. Clocks are very useful for that.
My first clock is romancing Lens.
Build relationship with Lance. 12 segments.
My project is reclaim former weapons.
Former what?
That's ridiculous.
My process is get more drugs.
But yeah, I'm just gonna write down the reserves that I had to write down.
Hey, Fluffy.
What?
Cat is back.
Cat is back?
Yeah, computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cat gaming is back. Oh, let's go.
By the way,
yes.
Fluffy, I have a question.
Say, tell me.
Actually, maybe we should ask you in DMs later. So.